Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition, and today we're going to be playing the precursor to one of my all-time favorite maps. One of my all-time favorite maps is Great War 2, which comes with the base game files from the expansion campaigns and the expansion version of Heroes of Might and Magic 2 Gold. An excellent map Heroes of Might and Magic 2 has with Great War 2, and today the precursor, the Great War, is on the table, and I'm very excited to see what kind of mess we can get into in this XL 6-player map. Chat is filling up nicely. Hello to Bearded Man. Hello to you. Mystic Snakes, nice to have you here in the chat. Welcome. Pleasure to have you here. Hello to everyone. Folks, if there's any weirdness with the sound or with video, as always, let me know. If you're catching this on YouTube later, welcome on YouTube. If you're here on Twitch, thank you for being here. Twitch and these streams are wonderful because you make it wonderful. And so I really appreciate everybody's help in this stream here today. Roman's in the chat. Hello, Roman. Nice to have you there. And then Vammy the Vampire as well. Hello, Fix. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Bearded Man says there are people mobbing in the background, people that may want to preserve their privacy. Oh yeah, they're moving. Yeah, I've tried to kind of move in front of them just to make sure that as much as possible I can prevent them from being on camera. And so my hopes is that with this current setup that there shouldn't be any issues there. Manny MM's in the chat. Hi there, Mr. Fix. Greetings from MS Cruise to Norway. You're on a cruise? Hold on, you're on vacation right now and you're watching FixFox? I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but I think that there are fun excursions you can go on. I think that there's fun things you can do, shuttleboard perhaps. Whatever the case is, I'm grateful that you're here. I hope that you're having a really good time there, wherever you are at. Folks, this is the Great War, 6-player XL map. This is actually downloaded from the Celestial Heavens download spot, which is a nice place to be. It is denoted as a normal difficulty map, kill or be killed, and the map description reads as such. Choose one of the 6 basic characters in this epic battle across the huge continent. Follow the old trading roads to quickly explore this land. That tells me immediately that there's going to be some roads, and it will serve us well if we stick on the roads. If there's bad terrain off the roads, that makes it a little bit easier to stay on the roads, but the more roads we stay on, the better off we will be. We're going to put this on impossible difficulty right now, and we have lots of different dice rolls for us today here to decide. We're going to leave this on random for everybody as far as who we play as, but we're going to be either blue, green, red, yellow, orange, or purple. I don't know if any one of these is better than the others. Let's do a quick little dice roll here. Looks like we're going to be playing in the 5th position here. 5th position for us is going to be here as the orange player. And with no further ado, let's dive right in. A war has broken out. A once united world is now knee-deep in a bloodthirsty battle for supremacy and control. The trading roads, which once facilitated the exchange of both goods and citizens, now serves as primary carriers of mobs and invading armies. It is up to you to seize control and bring this land back to peace. We're going to start off as the sorceresses. When was the last time we had a nice sorceress game? I think that we are long overdue, and I think that the dice roll and the automatic random assorter for Heroes of Might and Magic 2, they know just as well as we do that it was time for a sorceress map. We have Astra, level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense, 2 spell power, 3 knowledge. We're going to start off with 11 of these sprites and 4 of these dwarves. We got the advanced navigation, the basic wisdom. Is this going to be a water-based map? Is sorceress the very best role we could have decided? I am going to have to wait and find out. Basic wisdom, not too bad, and it looks like we're not going to have a mage guild in our starting castle. We do start off, as all sorceresses do, with the bless. Here in our castle of Meramac, we have nothing really to our name. We do have the ability, though. We mentioned sorceresses. We do have the ability to pick up the shipyard. That's going to be an awful lot of wood that we need. Otherwise, we just have this one solitary treehouse. I have to tell you, folks, with no other troops and no gold that we can purchase right now, I think it makes sense to leave the very slow dwarves at home and then set off to seek our fortune. Christina Diamond's in the chat. Hello, Christina. Nice to have you there. Hello, Fix and everyone. Really happy to watch the stream. Really happy to have you here on stream. I really appreciate having you. It's always a pleasure. The pleasure is always mine. And the Mystic Snake says, hoping that you will test my map time S gravity in the future stream. Good luck on this run. I appreciate it. Yep. So yeah, I know who you are then, because yeah, I think that was the recommendation that we most recently talked about over there on the FixFox Discord, so I really appreciate that. I will look forward to doing that one in the future. This was also one that was recommended. So we got 2,600 gold. We have a choice. We can stay on the road and die to zombies, or we can do a little bit of a side quest here. We can get a second hero. We can get the archery range, so that way we can maybe go through these enemy troops here and stay on the road. I think that generally you see FixFox going for a second hero. A second hero is not nearly so good if you don't have room to run. And because the road is guarded, I feel obligated to pick up this archery range. These ranged elves are going to do wonders as we try and go through lots of zombies. So very quickly, we're going to come back up the road, but for now, I might as well go just a little bit out of my way. And folks, with 1100 gold left, we're going to go on to day 2 of this map. Bearded Man says, since the descriptions mention trading roads, they likely probably connect to harbor-like features. Ooh, I like the sound of that. That's a good idea. Because yeah, if we can find boats out there, maybe we don't have to purchase one ourselves. That would be excellent. 6 crystal, 600 gold from this campfire here. I am going to go out of my way for the standing stones. We are right here. We might as well. We have found a group of druids worshiping at one of their strange stone edifices. Silently, they teach you new ways to cast spells. It's going to be +1 to our spell power there. I'm also going to go out of my way for the gazebo. It looks like this might be our ore mine. A pack of zombies. I hate to spend so much time there going out of my way. Maybe I do hire another hero and send them south to help me with a resupply. The gazebo says, an old knight appears at the steps of this gazebo. My liege, I will teach you all that I know to aid you in your travels. 1000 experience. We're going to pick up the advanced wisdom here, but very interesting that we actually got the +1 attack skill. That's a little bit surprising, and that's very welcome. Until you're able to get at least a level 1 Mage Guild, you don't really need the spell power and the wisdom. I'm happy for the attack skill. No complaints here from me, and already we're building a pretty good hero. Let's see, 2,700 gold. Tell you what, I could do this. We're going to want this ore mine at some point. You're going to need the ore for the Stonehenge. You're going to need the ore for the statue, a couple of other things. So we might as well just sit here and wait. With 2,700 gold, I'm going to plan on purchasing another hero now. It's going to be Natasha. She's going to take the slowest creatures. Unless I can purchase one elf now, I cannot. I'm going to leave the slow creatures here. And then tomorrow, first thing, she's going to go down and she's going to help with this resupply for Astra. Yes, that seems like a good plan to me. We'll be able to meet up in just a moment or two. I don't have any gold. Unfortunately, this is going to be a strategy that costs me this well here today. We'll pick up the well maybe first thing in the morning. And with that, we're on to day 3. Yeah, something about getting, I don't know, elves against golems and zombies. I mean, this might be the perfect faction for these enemies. A little bit of early ranged damage goes so far. And maybe no other faction could do what we as sorceresses are about to do. This might be one of the best starts we could have ever hoped for. I'm going to leave just the one sprite here. There we go. One thing that I need to do a better job of, if you notice in this case right here where we try to move over all these creatures, if you highlight a creature and then you hit the over arrows, that's going to be the creature that you've highlighted. That's going to be the one single creature that stays behind. So you see me oftentimes slowly dragging everything over. I'll work on being a little bit better, a little bit more speedy in my work there. I'm going to just put down a couple of these single stacks of sprites. I don't think it really matters where the sprites go. So let's just do that like this. There's no retaliations that they can eat. We are on Astra and not Natasha. It's very important. Let's go through this pack of zombies. It says it's going to be 1 and 1. I think we can do just a little bit better with one single bless. Even that little bit of damage going from 2 to 3 up a little bit more helps us out an awful lot. 5 attack against the 2 defense of these mutant zombies. We shouldn't have any problems. Just going to take a little bit of time. I could probably even hit Q and end the battle here now, but I just want to make sure that if possible, I save myself any amount of heartache. No losses at all. Early on, you'll find me avoiding losses because I just don't know how important every single troop might be. Sometimes you find that every single troop does matter, and sometimes you find it's not that big of a deal, and that's okay, but you're not going to know until it's too late. You're not going to know what the margins for error are in the future until it gets to be just a little bit too late. I think that these zombies are actually trying to track down these sprites. Hold on, we're gonna try something out here. Skip. Are we gonna go back? Oh my goodness, that's so silly. I mean, they are the Walking Dead. I don't think that anybody in any amount of literature has ever said, oh yeah, a zombie, an animated corpse is a smart sort of being, but here we are seeing just how dumb these zombies can be. At some point I'm just gonna hit Q to end the battle. 1, 2, I think I can kill this stack here, no problems. Yeah, it'll be fine. Bit of damage there, fly away one more time, and now from here I am just gonna hit Q one more time. glorious victory, 245 experience, and more importantly, access to this ore mine. There's this witch doctor's hut here. If I'm trying to build a nice hero, I want to use Natasha to pick up some of these freebies, but I do want to grab this ore mine because that's going to be 2 ore per day that I can grab right now. Bearded Man says, stupid zombies, brainless even after eating so much brain. That's so sad and so very true. Maybe that's why they crave brain. There was a movie, I think it was called Warm Bodies, that I found pretty interesting, where the concept was that the zombies ate brains because they wanted the memories from the people that they ate. Kind of a morbid sort of a feature, but it was just like an interesting concept of, okay, why do zombies want brains? I don't know. An orcish witch doctor living in a hut deepens your knowledge of magic by showing you how to cast stones, read portents, and decipher the intricacies of chicken entrails. And already, Astra is really good as a hero. 1 attack, 0 defense, 3 and 4. I like this hero. This is a good looking hero. But we have reached the end of this road here. I don't think that we're going to be able to get into this anytime soon. Number 1, because we don't have the troops, and number 2, I think that we're gonna have to land over here somewhere. But nice to know that there is a free gold mine, if only we can go and grab it. No gold remaining. Unfortunately, we're just gonna have to wait 1 more day. And our early game prowess on the battlefield is coming at a price. In case you haven't noticed, we've missed 2 days now where we just didn't purchase anything. That feels kind of bad. Not my favorite thing. But there's still opportunities if only we can get them. This Mage Guild is going to be a bit of a barrier to the Stonehenge. I think that there's nothing else to do but purchase this well. And by the end of this week, I generally prefer to have at least druids if I can get them. I don't think I'm even going to get druids. I do not think it's going to happen. So we're going to have to hope for the best and just see where these things go. Well, that's not good. Whereas zombies are 2 defense, these iron golems have 10 defense. Now, the bless is going to help here. I think I can still do what we did before, though. I'm hoping I can do what I did before. I think that the zombies let me in on a secret, as it were. And here's the secret. That left to their own devices, the zombies will actually try and chase the pretty bird as opposed to go for my elves. Now, the only question is will I have enough shots? And that is a question that I do not know the answer to. I'm hoping that all these troops are going to go down to the south and we can just bamboozle the enemies. Oh, perhaps not. It looks like the dwarves are going to have to deal with these golems. Maybe the rest of these 2-speed creatures are going to act in the same way that we were hoping that the zombies do. And folks, it looks like that is going to be the case. So let's deal with this big stack here. We're going to skip a couple of times. We're going to leave the birdies down here. And then there's no reason for me not to attack with these dwarves. We're gonna have to do a little bit of a concave here. Oh, that's bad. We have to bring down these steel golems before anything else happens. I think I can just sit, let's see. I'm gonna end up sacrificing one of the sprites. No, you need all the sprites. We need all the sprites. So this stack is gonna stay here, stay here. I need to bring you down. Huh. I need to kill this whole stack, but I don't want to put myself in the position I can get attacked here. Let's do it like this. 1 more of the golems there. Final one goes down. Oh, and the 2 instances of good morale are actually horrible because now I don't think that we can do the strategy that we were hoping for. I thought we were in a good spot, but now because we had to deal with the good morale here and here, I think we're in a really rough spot because now we're going to have to go toe-to-toe with these creatures. So for now, we're going to skip here. We're going to take a step back. 1, 2. That's not good. It's going to have to be like this. We're going to step all the way back, hope that they don't kill the single sprite. They don't. Step back, and now I'm hoping that these creatures are actually going to go backwards. It's possible that they're going to continue on this way. Let's see what happens. Whew. 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 Use bless, Bearded Man says. Yeah, that's a good. I'd re-bless the elves, but I need to bless this stack of sprites when I get the chance. I didn't do that last time, and I should have. That was definitely my mistake. I don't think we're going to have enough shots here, though. I think that this was clearly an error in my calculations. I'm hoping that the dwarves are still going to take this damage, but my goodness. Opportunities that we've missed out on. I think that you're right, though. Let's cast the bless here on the dwarves, because that's still 2 to 4 damage. That's a pretty big deal. 1 dwarf goes down. 20 HP. That's the difference between killing 1 extra iron golem, which is excellent. And then I'm gonna help out here on this 1 stack there, just because I think that that's gonna continue to be useful for me. Here and here, skip. And then because we got so much space here, let's actually bless the sprites 1 more time. and help out on this stack. 33 HP. Let's figure out how much of these guys we can kill. That was 3 sprites that goes down, but the dwarves are they're standing tall, staying steady. 16 spell points left. Only 5 more shots from these elves though, and the elves are not doing as much damage as I would have hoped. Again, it's all about the defense versus the attack skill of these elves. So let's skip on down here. Even if we lose this fight, tell you what, I think that you've seen that we were only a couple of sprites away from this thing going much better. Real quick, let me just get caught up on chat as we're doing this. Vammy says, my first thought here is this: how similar is this map to the second Great War? It is going to be different because other Great War, I think it was a 3-on-3 map. This looks like it's a free-for-all, all players are against all players. So it is different that way. And then Vammy says, I already see that the factions aren't fixed like in Great War 2, if I'm not mistaken, and that's very correct. And so, yeah, there's some differences there already that we're seeing. And I'm hoping, I don't know, we'll have to kind of wait and see what other differences there might be, but that's probably the biggest and most important one if I'm being honest with myself. I'm going to fly over here. We've already seen good morale happen once or twice. I don't want to deal with any more good morale if I can help it. And we had a new subscription in the chat. Figaro17, Figaro, thank you so much for the subscription. The pleasure is always mine when we're here. I always appreciate your insight and your input. Thank you so much for the subscription, and thank you so much for being here. Your time is valuable. Everyone's time here is valuable, and I'm really grateful that people want to spend their time here on stream with me. Again, these streams are great because you all make them great. So thank you all very, very much. Okay, 2 more shots left. Does that mean that we split the damage a little bit, or do we try and just kill where we can? I think that we always take down one golem where we can. If I can split the iron golems somehow, if I can split the iron golem somehow and I can only attack 1 stack at a time, I'll be in an okay spot. I just don't know. Because I could step off here, and I could replace here. I could fill in, as it were. One more shot left. I think I'm about to have to fight anyway. There's going to be 10 spell points left. We're going to want to bless everybody. We'll try and save the elves where we can. I think this is just too many hit points. If you think about it, this is 240 hit points. Call it 300 hit points against my 120. Yeah, there's just too many hit points here. We've done the best we can. I think that this is going to be a loss. I don't think there's much we can do here. I don't think how splitting could help. Anyway, their targeting doesn't seem to be based on distance. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. That's true. There's only this one little bit of terrain we could play with. We could step out single sprites to try and cause some issues. Maybe though, I mean, the longer that the fight goes, it's possible, not probable, but it's possible that somebody's going to get good morale, and that's going to help separate them in a way that we enjoy. That is possible. And so because of that, I think that we're actually going to want to try and bring down this one big stack with our final bit of damage from our elves. So it's going to be 1 iron golem and then 2 stacks of 4. We are out of shots, folks. This would be a good time for the big, what do you call it? The ammo wagon. Yeah, this would be a good time for that. Okay, this guy stepped up here. This guy's pretty close here. What if I step down? Are you going to go in this direction? No, the AI recognizes that the elves are useless. They know. They know. Okay, we're just going to step back just a tiny bit. And again, I'm really hoping that there's going to get some instance of good morale. Let's put the dwarves to the center. Everybody else sort of the center. We're going to use the single stacks of sprites to slow people down. Maybe I do it like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I can't do it here. With this one golem, I kind of wanted him to split off. But if you notice, he only took 2 steps up. Not very good. Alrighty, there's no good way of doing this, folks. It's just no good way. When I talk in hypotheticals about what may happen and what may be the very best, you know that we're in a rough spot. Stepping up, dwarves are going to step up. We're going to end up starting our blesses right about now, I think. I think it's going to be time to start the blesses. And where's the bless going to be most useful? That's going to be potentially an extra 19. That's going to be potentially an extra 10. I think that you're going to end up blessing the sprites first. But I'm going to wait for a moment. Save your single stacks. I'm glad I waited one more turn for that bless. Dwarves are definitely going to fight this turn, so we skip. Skip, skip. Skip. Okay. And then we're going to just fill in. Ooh, what a bad time for that to happen. If we're going to go down, we're just going to go down here. Single stacks, do your damage where you can. Here. And here. And while I could kill one full stack there, or one full golem, I'd rather kill this one up here so I don't take the retaliation from all these extra hits. Okay, so we got dwarves and sprites trying to do max damage here. 18 down to 10, a little bit there, a little bit there. 9 sprites goes down, absolutely crushing. The elves could take a retaliation. They'll save the dwarves a little bit of damage. I have one more bless. Is it going to be used somewhere else? 1 second. Tell you what, let the elves go down. If we get out of this fight alive, we're going to be grateful anyway. So let's just sell out trying to make this work. I doubt it's going to work. One more dwarf goes down. Highly doubt it's going to work. Yeah, it's strictly a matter of HP. This is simple math. This is only math. And from here, folks, I think that we can all see the writing on the wall. Final bless goes down. And with 4 iron golems remaining, I see no reason I ought to stick around. Let's make sure that we keep this hero alive. And when I say alive, I don't mean alive. Clearly, this hero is dead. But this was a fight that I was very confident with because of this issue over here, and I thought that I could get away with doing something special. What I should have done, obviously, was to go north. You have clear paths in this direction. If you can just go through the zombies with your elves, you're going to do much better anyway. You've even got these mutant zombies. You could even do better against them. But a pack of zombies versus lots of the iron golems, yeah, clearly that was an absolute error. We're going to have to wait 2 days in order to pick our hero back up, so there's nothing to do but just kind of sit here. Well, I suppose Natasha can go down here. This would be a time, by the way, this would be a time where if you said to yourself, FixFox, I would be restarting right now, I wouldn't fault you. Like, this is one of those times where, like, I get it. For this purpose, I still think that while this is a major setback, I think that on a map that is not a scenario type of map, where the map is not built in a way where the enemies have some overwhelming advantage, I feel like I can still make some nifty stuff happen. This is just FixFox taking a bigger handicap than he already had. That's pretty much all that is, which still not great. But I also believe in living with my mistakes. If we live with our mistakes, we have the opportunity to improve upon our mistakes. That's kind of giving me my hope there. We're not making any purchases. It's going to be day 1 here. We're going to send all these forces here. Elves first, of course, with Natasha. Natasha over to Astra, and Astra's going to go seek revenge. With these elves, it's not going to be a problem. Couple of skips, couple of slips, and this shouldn't be a fight at all. Okay. Oh my goodness, didn't I get rid of you? That's funny. That's very funny how that worked. Vammy says, out of spells and shells. Yes, there's no more bombardment that will save us at this point. Very sad. Bearded Man says, deal maximum damage to finish the fight off later. You're right. I was worried that they were going to get maybe like good morale, Bearded Man, and then if they got good morale in a spot that just wasn't good for me, the fear is that then they could finish me off without me being ready for it. That was my fear. That was my fear. Does killing the demon cave give gold or XP? It should be. Let's see. Bearded Man says, last time I fought earth elementals, I got the gold. Maybe it's different in this volcanic area. I don't actually know. I do not know the answer to that. I feel like it's different in, not based on terrain, but depending on whether you fight the demon or whether you fight the guardians. And I've seen, to my recollection, I've seen artifacts, I've seen gold, and of course you get the experience if you kill, if you kill enemies, you're going to get some amount of experience, but yeah, I've seen a couple of things, so I can't really best advise you there. It's one of those flavor text sort of deals. I don't usually, I read everything, but I rarely enough interact with the demon caves that I just don't pay attention like I ought to. Either I can beat several earth elementals or I can't. I've never seen more than several earth elementals at any given point though, so I'm gonna hope that I never do. Alrighty folks, couple skips. And as you can tell, this is the fight that we actually wanted the previous time. Weird how much easier this fight is when you just have a couple of elves bombarding these enemies from afar. Weird, weird, weird. Yeah, but Vammy, we'll read about the flex, or the flavor text for the Demon Cave in just a moment or two. I don't think that this treasure chest is going to be anything but gold. We need the gold. We're so far behind. Experience is not the play. We just need to get into this. We're going to pick up the gems. That's going to be good for unicorns and for all these other things in just a little bit. Of course, crystal. We're looking for mercury. Mercury's being a big one for the sorceresses. Are you sensing a theme here? Once again, we are out of gold, and that feels pretty bad. Mutant zombies. Maybe we can deal with you, maybe we can't, but we can definitely deal with these zombies here. We got 3 spell points. That's gonna be 1 bless. I disagree. We're gonna win this fight. We're gonna win this fight. Once again, we're gonna cast the bless right off the bat, start working on their fastest stack, and then we've already seen the strategy. Ooh, that's nice. We've already seen the strategy where we can get the little 2-speed zombies to follow the birdie, as it were, and chase the big stack of sprites around. Assuming, of course, that you can cover up this big stack of elves. That's going to be down to 5 of the mutant zombies. We might, I don't know, they're far enough ahead. We might actually want to do it like this and just kill 2 to 3 here. I think we do. 2 to 3, we kill 2. And we might take a little bit of a hit here depending on how much damage these elves do. Do they kill all of them? They do, thankfully. So now we skip, and run away. Ooh, this terrain might make it so the zombies actually come into close contact with us. We may need to put the sprites back over here in just a second. The nice thing about this fight is that there's no morale that can mess us up. So the enemies aren't just going to magically get much better and just travel 2 hexes further than we anticipated. So we can really abuse the AI in a way that fits very, very well for us. I know that many Heroes of Might and Magic 3 players, I mean, they pride themselves on being able to manipulate the AI. Recently, I mentioned this previously, Steeson mentioned, oh, FixFox, I can't wait to do online play with Heroes of Might and Magic 2 with you. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm going to look forward to it. But when people say FixFox is so great, yeah, just because I can manipulate the AI like this doesn't necessarily mean that a player is going to be manipulated in such a similar manner. I think that we all agree that there's some issues there if we're assuming that FixFox is going to do this sort of deal to a real life player. That was the early draw for me when I first found out that you could play games like StarCraft 1 Brood War online against people. Like, I just realized that I knew the AI really, really well. And if you already know the AI really, really well, you can figure out what ways you can exploit it. And a player you can't exploit like that. And that adds a certain level of intrigue for me. Maybe not for everybody, but for me it certainly does. And so I'm excited for the times where we can do really fun fights like this, where we have no business winning this fight, but we are able to win it with no losses. I love these fights. But I also recognize that that doesn't mean that FixFox is the best Heroes of Might and Magic player you've ever seen in your life. Just saying. I'm just saying. An old knight appears at the steps of the gazebo. My liege, I will teach you all that I know to aid you in your travels. We're going to pick up the... Oh, geez. We could actually use the mysticism here, couldn't we? 50 spell points. Do you take the mysticism now as an investment, or do you take the navigation hoping to get a better secondary skill later? I think I've got so many other secondary skills I can take. Let's do something that's going to be useful now, and then we're not going to be sad later, hopefully. Hopefully we won't be sad later. A couple of resources here. We're still looking for wood. Still looking for a sawmill. We're finally going to get our Mage Guild, and that's going to be the next step towards getting up to these druids. 3 turns, 2,500 gold, unless we can find something in the treasure chest. It's possible. It's very possible. There's a Shrine of the First Circle here. I want to go grab this. I mean, there is the 1,000 experience. You're going to want the 1,000 experience anyway. And this might be a really awesome spell. So let's do it like this. Let's grab the gazebo here. Let's pick up the Expert Wisdom as we pick up +1 more knowledge. We're not too far away from our Mage Guild. We could replenish our spell points up to full. And then I'm going to use Natasha to clear out the crystal and all this, so that way we can come back in a moment or two. Interesting kind of playthrough. Interesting kind of playthrough. Day 3, save the gold, wait for later. Gems or gold, either way I'm fine. Gems is fine. Another 2,000 gold, that's going to be our Stonehenge. And with 1,500 gold left, I mean, I think that it's going to be a day 1 that we probably go through zombies and some of these other creatures. But folks, we've found our sawmill, guarded by lots of sprites. Folks, What do we think about lots of sprites? You tell me. What do you think about sprites? They're maybe the worst creature that we would have to deal with in this case. Is there another level 1 creature that we would rather fight? I think we'd rather fight halflings. I think we'd rather fight centaurs, peasants, goblins. I think we'd rather fight anybody but these sprites. This is maybe a worse fight than we would really hope for. Very sad. Very sad. Okay. Remember, we can't do what we did just here with the mutant zombies. We're gonna have to wait for just a moment or two. Full spell points. It's gonna be day 4, 5, 4, overnight. With so many spell points available, I think that it's in our best interest to wait. This shield spell is good, but not great. And this is gonna give Natasha a chance to go up and figure out what's going on. Okay. Let's see. Heroes Broken Alliance is in the chat. Hello, Heroes Broken Alliance. Welcome. Happy to have you back here. Hey, and I appreciate the things that you're doing with Heroes of Might and Magic here on Twitch as well. Thank you so much for, working hard to keep this game alive. It's always a pleasure to see somebody playing the game and loving the game and enjoying the game. I've noted your Heroes of Might and Magic 2, your Broken Alliance runs. A fun scenario, fun game. Glad you're enjoying yourself. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate what you're doing. So thank you. Are you ever going to do some IRL streaming? You seem like a really interesting person. Like in my life, like where I walk around with a camera. I've never thought about that. I don't think I'm that interesting. You shouldn't immediately. First off, thank you for the compliment. That's high praise. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment. I should not knock that compliment out of your hands. I really appreciate that. I never considered my life to be particularly interesting, in part because it's my life and I'm very used to my sort of life. I do have some certain concerns with privacy in general. I purposefully don't show my dear sweet wife on camera. I don't show other family members other than my dad because he's graciously offered to be involved in this project. But I'm a little bit of a private person. I suppose I could. Oh boy, I suppose I could. I never thought about that. What sorts of IRL streaming types of things would I do? Like, would I go places locally here in my part of the United States and just show off the beautiful outdoors? Would I just spend time with my family? I'd be very interested to know what other people would think would be interesting. Yeah, I'd be very interested to know what other people think are interesting. I don't really know what to do here. We got 5 wood. We've got to get through this barrier here in just a moment. I think that with these greater druids, I can knock off these other creatures. I think I might as well get my last 5 wood spent for this archery range. We're not going to get into unicorns until next week anyway. That's the reason why I don't want to spend the 5 wood. That's the reason why. And if that's the only reason why, you're 10 wood away from the cottage. You're 10 wood away from the fenced meadow. It's 10 units of wood from everything. I think you might as well upgrade. I think you might as well spend the gold to upgrade these troops. Turn them into 6-speed creatures. Increase their damage, all that good stuff. Buy the final 4 sprites. And then I think that we ought to just go fight this fight. And then we'll consider the demon cave on the way back. We'll consider it. I don't know what to do with this demon cave just yet. Vami says, I think I'm pretty good at manipulating the AI in Heroes of Might and Magic. However, I got my butt kicked in the VCMI tournament last summer. There was a tournament? Cool. Awesome. Are you happy with the way that you did? That's my biggest question. Like, I want you to have done very, very well so that you're happy with how things went. Even if you get your butt kicked, are you happy with the way things went? I'm looking at this fight. And after this fight over here, I'm a little bit gun shy. Let's go focus on the thing that we have to go do. We got to go kill these sprites somehow. It's going to be messy, one way or the other. Let's go for what matters, and then we'll consider this later. But yeah, VCMI, Lord Shadowwing has recommended it, and so it's on my list of things I need to do. I've planned on doing it for a while. I just haven't gotten to it just yet. It's still in the works, still in my plans. But I've noted, folks, that Heroes of Might and Magic 2, number 1, it's my favorite game, and it's the game that other people like to watch the most as well. So here's where I am. And so if people say, FixFox, why don't you stream other games? Recently, I haven't been able to upload other videos just because I've been so busy with work, which is a little unfortunate. I'm very sad to report that, but that is truly what it is. I think that this is, for closed formation, the best strategy I can do here. I think I might actually want to split these sprites. I think I want to split the sprites. Glorious Victory. I'm not even going to fight this fight. It's going to be the 1 elf. Okay, that's fine. That's about as good as I could have done. 10 wood there, and immediately my wood problems are solved. Do I have the resources to get to the fenced meadow? I do. I thought that I was going to have to wait a whole nother week for this fenced meadow. Folks, here on day 7, we were able to make this happen. Massive. Absolutely massive. Some good quality troops combined with the bless. I am thrilled with that decision making. Going here might have been an issue. Going here, the low cost and the unicorns, we're in a good spot. Good spot. Thami says your elves are going to take a beating from the sprites, but they'll stand no chance against the dwarves. Very true. Very true. And I think that we kind of saw that there. And because of the closed formation, I think that only one group of sprites was able to attack at a time. And we did not lose one of the druids when they had to take a shot from one of those stacks of 16 as well. So that turned out fine. Folks, it is week 3, week of the Raven. Another 5 wood there. I think there's going to be time to start looking at getting into the cottage, just because those troops are great. A quick detour though. I know this is costing me some gold, and this is going to take me a little bit out of my way, but I'm going to pick up the statue. I maybe could have gotten that a little bit earlier. Wasn't sure if I wanted to. Really wasn't sure if I wanted to. Another 5 gems here from this little toadstool in the Magic Garden. And we have seen that Natasha has come to the end of her road, unless... Nope, there's nothing. Oh, there's nothing there. But look at this, folks. This is lovely. Fire summoning altar. Free troops, free quality ground-based troops. This is going to help us go through paladins, maybe through ogre lords. Yes, this is a big deal. Looks like there's another mine, sulfur mine right there. We're going to work on mage guilds. We're going to hope that we can find Mercury very soon, of course, so that way we can move into our phoenixes. But in the meantime, you can do a lot of things with a level 3, level 4 mage guild. Beneath a structure that serves to hold in heat, fire elementals move about in a fiery pool of molten lava. A group of them approach you and offer their services. Would you like to recruit fire elementals? Yes, I would. We can only purchase 6 at the current juncture. We're going to wait on this. We're going to, let's see. Yeah, I wanted to make sure my steps were correct here. Maybe I go into the demon cave here. Do I need Natasha to head south immediately? I don't think I do. So for that reason, I'm going to go back. Tomorrow, we're going to get an extra 1,000 gold. I'm going to purchase the most important troops, probably leaving the greater druids, just focusing on the elves. Could you reach? How far could you reach? You couldn't reach there anyway if you left right now. So we're not going to worry about that. We're going to wait on the tavern, wait on the cottage. Purchase what we need, starting with elves. Before I do anything else, let's remember to turn this off of grouped formation. Zombies are the upcoming fight. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Call those famous last words. The famous last words of "it'll be fine." And then everybody dies. But maybe we find some amount of gold here in the Demon Cave first. Okay. Roman is back. Hello, Roman. Nice to have you back in the chat. Oh, you have a storm. Electricity is down. Did anyone hear about... It was Spain. I think Spain and Portugal, all of their whole power grid was down like a week ago or something crazy. Absolutely wild stuff. Whenever people talk about having emergency supply, we always think, oh, if there's nuclear war, then sure, absolutely, I want to have some sort of supplies. But it's usually more simple things than that. Just having the power grid go down for a little while, that's kind of crazy. And today, it just impacted you here for chat. Hopefully, there's no further disruptions in your electricity. But yeah, nice to have you back in the chat, Roman. Welcome, welcome. And then Heroes Broken Alliance, I've fallen sick lately, so I'm slacking with my streams. No worries, I'm sure you're going to get back to it. The entrance to the cave is dark, and a foul, sulfurous smell issues from the cave's mouth. Will you enter? Yes, I will. You find a powerful and grotesque demon in the cave. Today, it rasps, you will fight and surely die. But I will give you my choice of deaths. You may fight me or fight my servants. Do you prefer to fight my servants? I do. I don't want to play with my life here. We're just going to fight and win. Glorious victory. Let's do even better. Thami says, it was a weird experience. I went into the beginner bracket considering it was my first time having played online PvP. Makes sense. However, having played so much Heroes of Might and Magic, I am used to playing very fast, as you have seen in the shoutcasts, so I was actually kind of bored half the time. I believe that so very much. You were bored half the time just because you're used to playing so much faster. Yeah. To be fair, I don't think that it was worth the stress. Yeah, you know, I mean... we've mentioned a couple of times, I think all of us have mentioned, that there's a reason why we play Heroes, Might, and Magic, and it's usually not because we want to be the most competitive people in the world. It's a very lovely, relaxing sort of experience if you can allow yourself to enjoy it in such a relaxing manner. So yeah, I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing that was part of the reason why you did not enjoy yourself nearly so much. I could be wrong, but it makes sense to me anyway. Let's see, dwarves are going to head up. I think that the unicorns are going to attack this one stack here. Let's kill here. Yeah, dead. I don't think that you can reach. If you can, it's going to be very close. And because of that, we're going to try and just kill this stack here a little bit. Sprites to here. Vammy says, no offense or throwing shade at anyone involved with the tournament or whom I played against, just the way I felt. No, any game played competitively changes the very fabric of the game itself. I think that makes sense to me. Maybe there's a more concise way of, that was not what I meant to do. Maybe there's a better way of saying what I'm trying to say there personally, but it makes sense to me anyway that the game is different when it's played in that kind of competitive format. Many times, that's my biggest gripe with Horn of the Abyss, is if you're going to play Horn of the Abyss online, you need to learn gold trading and like banning. It's not like a streamlined, intuitive sort of system in order to just load up and play a game against somebody. And that makes it difficult. There's a barrier of entry there, which makes it a little bit more difficult, and that makes me kind of sad. But it's still a good system. It's way better than the system they had before, which was no system. 2,500 gold, folks. We've defeated the bad guys. I don't think there's going to be any problems defeating these bad guys. Glorious victory. Let's do even better. But competitive, tell you what, so here's my plans. When Olden Era comes out, I do plan on spending a little bit of time doing the online play just because I'm interested to check it out. I'm interested to see what's there. First off, does that mean I'm going to abandon Heroes of Might and Magic 2? No. 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 You're never going to get rid of me. And for some of you, that might be a bonus, and for some of you, that might be a sad thing. I don't know. You tell me. But one way or the other, I just feel like it's really, I don't know. I feel like it's really nice to be able to be smart about just checking into it, seeing what's there, seeing if I can have fun. I think I can have fun with it. I think everybody can have fun with it. So having some fun with that, and then I'm probably going to get bored with it. I'm probably going to realize, you know what, this is just not my thing. There's a reason why I stopped playing competitive online games. I used to play a lot of games like League of Legends, for example, and it was the worst game in the world. Just the worst game in the world. It was a bad experience. I hated it. I hated the fact that everybody was sweaty. I hated the fact that people yelled at you. I hated the fact that even on your best day, you could still lose because somebody else just didn't want to play the game that day. These are things that make me sad. And I don't want those experiences when it comes down to competitive gaming. Like competitive can be fun, but it can also be the worst thing in the world. I just want to have fun. So if we find that we have fun with Olden Era, great, wonderful. And if we find that's a little bit of an issue there, so be it. We're going to come back for the Shrine of the Third Circle spell in just a moment or two, but I'm going to go up in this direction. I'm going to get the experience here. Diplomacy, kind of like that. Basic diplomacy, we're going to take that. And then we are going to get one more treasure chest, and now I'm going to take the 1,500 gold there, just so that way Natasha can purchase everybody and send them down. Perfect. And then we shall go from there. But yeah, same to you, though, Vammy. No offense to anybody that does really enjoy the competitive online play or they like the format of tournaments. Power to people. Like, really, truly, power to the people. But I have my fears. There's a couple things that I'm a little bit scared of, and I hope that I'm wrong. From the observation tower, you were able to see distant lands. It didn't really tell us anything we didn't already know because we explored much of the map already. Ooh, it told us actually quite a bit. Never mind. Paladins? Knowledge? Oh yeah, sorceresses need as much knowledge as they can get. We'll see about that. But I am very excited to see about the Shrine of the Third Circle and see what that might have for us. I think we're going to be so far away from this red tower. I think we might as well just push for a 3rd level Mage Guild. We're quickly coming up on the point where a shipyard actually might make a lot of sense. We'll have to wait and see. Alrighty, and then let's see. Vammy says, oh, also Heroes 5.5 apparently has an online service now. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, I would need to be the most basic and beginner Heroes Might and Magic 5 bracket as possible. As little as I could get, that'd be the best thing for me. Beardman says, there seems to be a Shrine of the Third Circle, which is great. Absolutely. Here we go in this View Towns. We're going to cast this View Towns right now, folks. This is going to tell us quite a bit. So first off, this looks to be a... I don't know what that is. It's neutral. It's in the snow. Is that a Sorcerer's Castle? I think that's Wizards. Barbarian Castle that's blue. Necromancer Castle that's blue. There's a Sorceress Castle that's neutral. To the south is Warlock Town that's neutral. Knight Castle that's purple. Wizards that are neutral to the south. Neutral Barbarians in the desert. This is a neutral Wizard Castle, which is very interesting. I mean, neutral towns, I mean, that's one thing, but neutral castles? Very interesting. And then yellow Warlocks, it looks like. Necromancer Castle that's neutral in the far right. In the bottom right. Neutral Warlock. Neutral Barbarian. Okay, orange Wizards. Neutral Necromancers. And then green Barbarians. So, folks, it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies on the map. Wait, what? Hold on. Yellow, blue, red, green, us. Somebody lost their castle. Ooh, somebody's in trouble. Somebody lost their castle to an enemy already. Are we going to lose one of these players very, very quickly? I think we will. Either Barbarians or Necromancers. Yeah, so the blue Necromancers have taken the green Barbarian's castle, and the green Barbarian probably has one hero just wandering out there, hoping for the very best. That's very sad. I'm very happy we got this View Towns, just so we could kind of understand the drama. I like that a lot, actually. Just for the story elements. If for no other reason, then it's nice to be able to look at these spells like we just saw with the View Towns and be able to kind of suss out what's going on. It's always nice to see what other players, other heroes are doing out on the map. Okay, let's see, there's another demon cave. The +1's not that big of a deal. There was this snowy castle up there. It looks like we can maybe reach that direction unless we set sail soon. We're probably gonna have to be obligated to go north. There's wood, and both of those can get a shipyard and a boat. I think you're gonna want a shipyard soon. Hitting the high seas, that's going to be just a very good thing for us. Let's see about this. Tree of Knowledge, 2,000 gold, negative. And it looks like I can't even reach this sulfur mine. I thought I could. Can't reach it through there. That makes my decision-making much easier, actually. Expert navigation. Natasha is going to be my main navigator once we do get a boat. We're going to move the dwarves. We're going to have Natasha drop these dwarves off. And let's go get wood here. And then these creatures here with the fire elementals. I think we got it. And maybe there's some resupply that can happen in a little bit of time. Is there a trading post so we can get up to the mercury necessary for a level 3 Mage Guild? Did we get the spells for the level 3 Mage Guild or level 2 Mage Guild? I don't think we did. Hold on. No, we got to go back for the Cold Ray and the Steel Skin. Slow it down, Fix Fox. Slow it down. Sometimes we get distracted with chat. That's like a cardinal sin. As important as chat is, and trust me, you guys are all important, if the game is not being played at a good pace and in a good way, that's a problem. So let's play the game and then talk. All right, off we go. Natasha's gonna sit, drop the dwarves, and it's day 7. She's probably gonna do this resupply for Astra in just one moment. Okay. And then, oh, so it was announced today, Vammy says. The 5.5 with the online play, that was announced today. Very cool, very interesting. Huh, yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited to see what other people do. I think that anytime there's a Heroes game that kind of has a renaissance, I think online play is usually a fairly large part of it. I feel like it has to be, because that provides a way that you can interact with other people in the community, and then you can build community, and if you're building community, everybody wins. Everybody's happy. So hopefully that's what's going on. Hopefully I'm not misreading the tea leaves there, but that sounds like a pretty good deal for the Heroes 5 community. Good for them. Heroes Broken Alliance says, I suck at anything competitive. You and me both, man. You and me both. Vammy says, on the other hand, I'm very glad that more and more Heroes games are getting online support so you can play with friends over long distances. Totally agree. Could not agree any more with you. I think that that's just a really wonderful opportunity that we have with the internet. I mean, what's the internet for? Paying your bills online? Come on. That doesn't sound like a fun time at all. Let's not do that if we can help it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna kill most of the stack with the spell. 3 centaurs are probably gonna attack the sprites. We're gonna do our range damage here and here. Unless we get good morale. No, we don't even have good morale. We just have average morale. Oh, they went for the unicorns. Are these guys gonna go for the unicorns? If I attack here, then I'm gonna get stabbed by 14 centaurs. If I attack here, then the centaurs might just do half damage or full damage to the unicorns. I'm gonna hope that they don't do full damage to the sprites. Okay, we'll take that. Yeah, not what I would have done, but we'll take it. 355 experience, good, good. There's 6 more wood. We are up to 29. All right, we're getting the shipyard first thing in the morning, and then a ship is soon to follow. So pack your bags, Natasha. You got stuff to do, places to be. I've been things and I've seen places. Okay. Now is a good time for us to actually cast this View Towns again, just to see. Yeah, blue is still hanging on by a thread. Yellow has worked. I think that they started here, and I think that they've worked their way this direction. Oh, there's purple, by the way. Yeah, so purple's kind of in this area. Blue, yeah, but blue's still hanging on. Looks like red has taken this necro castle, and they turned it into a castle immediately. That was a town, now it's a castle. The green barbarians are just hanging out. Yeah, I think that we kind of want to go in this direction with our ground-based fighting force. Huh, very interesting. And for the low cost of 2 spell points, then that feels worth it to me. Archers, you never know. I mean, do we need the ore? No. Is it nice to get this? I don't want to take any damage from the archers. I'll come back for the archers after I deal with paladins. If I lose even a couple of elves, that might make this fight way tougher than it needs to be. So we're just going to wait for now. And folks, we are 400 gold short for a boat, but we are going to get that again first thing in the morning. It's happening. It's coming really quickly. Ooh, can we reach? Do we have any 6-speed creatures? 5-speed? I don't want to send a... I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this real quick, just to ensure that I can get back into the boat next turn. Going from 4-speed up to 5-speed, the boat should be here. I should be able to load up first thing in the morning. Okay. Let's see if I'm right. Ta-da! And this one druid is gonna be Natasha's best friend. And then let's see, Vammy says purple is there. It's just a very close shade of white. You're right, they were right here. They're the knights. I totally missed them. I almost missed them. But yeah, very close shade. You're correct. I couldn't see on the map nearly as well as you could, so I'm glad you are. Thank you. Temple, we're probably gonna fight this fight and then gonna come back to the temple in just a moment or two. So that way when we fight Ogre Lords, we're gonna be in a better spot. Let's do this right now. 12 fire elementals, 6 of the unicorns. Yeah, this is totally winnable. Is there any adjustments to the way we want this to play out? I don't think so. I think we just got to fight. Glorious victory. It looks like it's going to be very costly. Let's use some nice spells and make good things happen. Heroes Broken Alliance says, by the way, what do you think about house rules for Heroes 2 since some balance issues break the game? I avoid using any teleport spells like Dimension Door, Town Gate, Town Portal, and I avoid starting with a Warlock, which I think is insanely OP, starting with Flyers and easily taking Ranger Guarded Mines early on when it matters the most. I think that there's a lot of things that you're saying there that I'm with. For example, I don't use Dimension Door or Town Portal unless the enemy uses it first. That just feels important to me. So I get that. Definitely I do. House rules for Heroes 2? I don't know. Is some of the fun being that the game is broken? Is there fun in the game being somewhat broken? And I don't really know the answer to that. And I think that everybody has their own individual answer to that. I don't think I should try and sway you one way or the other, to be honest. But I think that if we're talking about a game made in 1996, excuse me, that were being played in 2025, if I'm playing competitively, I'm probably going to play competitively Heroes 3 with my family before I play Heroes 2. I mean, but I'd rather play Heroes 2 simply because it's just my favorite in the series. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things about house rules and what those would look like. I don't know, but I suspect that the Heroes of Might and Magic, like FHeroes2 team, I believe that the FHeroes2 team is already thinking about these sorts of deals, and I'm guessing that they're going to have some sort of house rules in place where they're going to have like an online balance, not necessarily balancing the Knight faction to be the same as the Wizards or the Warlocks, right? Nothing like that. But I'm guessing that there's going to be some limitations, just like minor changes, like, oh, you can only Dimension Door 3 times in a turn. That sort of thing makes sense to me. I don't know how likely that is. I don't know how right or how wrong I am. These are just the things I think about. Folks, I think that this is actually my best stack to Bless and then Bloodlust. It feels weird to me to do it like this, but I'm going to, because I'm trying to weigh out 17 here, 8 here, but these guys have 2 extra attack skill already. How is that going to work out with the 5 to 8 versus the 2 to 3? I still think that this is just a bigger and better stack. We're going to see how correct or how incorrect I am, but any amount of spells that we can use are going to be very useful. I think that the Paladins have just confirmed what I already suspected to be true, which was that this is the better and more important stack, because they're not going towards the Druids. They're going straight for the Elves. I'm going to stick the Unicorns right here. Great. That temple is really paying off, man. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kill this right there. Sprites, stay alive, my pretties. Stay alive. We're going to do the Bloodlust so that we can actually overcome some of this higher defense skill. That's going to add oodles of damage. One Paladin's going to get 14 damage off. Fire Elementals are waiting. And I don't think we're going to take this damage here. Never mind. But this guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I move up with the Unicorns, I'm going to take a beating. I don't want to, so I just won't. Skip. Good luck, it's always appreciated, because good luck is max damage and then double damage. That feels pretty good. Let's do that again. And the Sprites, I don't want to lose the Sprites. I don't want to put them into harm's way. I'm going to put them into harm's way just because I need the damage more than anything. I don't want to kill 2 Paladins here. I just want to kill 1. Oh, I don't think I can do it. I'm going to do 43 damage twice. Oh, never mind. I won't kill. So I'm going to do 86 damage. And there's 50, there's 66. Yeah, I'll do 80 something damage and there's 66 HP left. I don't want this big stack of 4 to go. That's the big concern here. So I'm just gonna eat my damage. This sucks, I hate it. Fire Elementals, thankfully it was them getting attacked and not anybody else. And now I'm gonna move out of the way and deal with this stack here. Ouch. 2 elves, 6 elves total. Ouch. Absolutely crushing. This is one of those times where more than a Bless or a Bloodlust or anything, I just wanted to haste. I wanted to haste, or I wanted to slow. That's all I wanted in this fight, just to manipulate turn order a little bit. I could have done much more with manipulating turn order than I could have just with doing the raw damage, unfortunately. So the losses are way better in this instance, but still, it hurts to see that final blow land from the Paladins and kill 4 extra elves on that last little bit of retaliation. Ouch. I'm going to mix gold and experience here. I'm going to take 1,500 experience when it comes up. I'm going to take 1,500 gold otherwise. Here's 1 pot of Mercury. That's pretty useful. Again, that'll either be a 3rd level Mage Guild. Maybe we upgrade the Stonehenge, or Phoenixes are too far away. You get it. You get it. Okay. But Heroes Broken Alliance, I hope that I've kind of... House rules, I think that house rules are a good idea, but I think that they have to be agreed upon amongst friends beforehand. And so I think that if we're trying to do any kind of competitive Heroes Might and Magic 2 play online or against each other, I think that you run into some issues immediately there, because getting 2 people who are trying to play competitively against each other, getting them to agree on something like that, I think is pretty difficult. Folks, more Mercury. I want to stay in the boat, but I also want to land for this Mercury. That seems like a worthwhile use of my time. Let's go for 700 gold, 8 wood, 1,500 experience. Good, good. Basic Estates. It's pretty early on in the map. It's pretty early on. But this is my main hero. I'm going to take the Mysticism here. I think you totally have a big argument for why Estates would be better. I'm just going to take Mysticism because it's my primary hero and I'm trying to help them be the best they can be. Visiting a local wise man, you explain the intent of your journey. He reaches into a sack and withdraws a yellowed scroll and hands it to you. That's going to be +3 knowledge. We're only up to 11. That's pretty good. And then we're gonna take the 1,000 gold here, back to the temple, and then we're gonna go through these Ogre Lords in just a moment or two. With 9,000 gold, we got the 5 Mercury. This is a pretty big upgrade. We just mentioned how important speed was. That's a pretty big upgrade. I'm gonna go with the upgrade, hoping that this Mercury is gonna be enough to get me into a Mage Guild. Maybe after I get a little bit of trading capacity with a marketplace. That was 6 Mercury, that was perfect. Oh look, and there's my Alchemist Lab. What's guarding it? Wolves? Lots of wolves? I wish there was a way. I'm having a thought, folks. I'm having a thought. 5 knowledge, 3 spell power, 60 points of damage, killing 3 wolves at a time, plus some hardy fire elementals. It's a bad idea. This is not guaranteed that this is going to go well, but I want to give that a shot. We're going to do that in just a second. The true final boss. Welcome to the chat, the true final boss. Pleasure to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Says, yellow looks like he's in a great position. Yeah, let's cast his view towns one more time. So yellow is over here with the castle here, castle here. They are in the desert, which is kind of weird, but they've got this whole corner to themselves. And that positioning, I think, does matter a lot. I think that's kind of a big deal. You mentioned so many neutral towns around them. If the game is too balanced, it's boring. I agree with that. That was that conversation about, you know, should things be balanced? Yeah, too much balance is probably a bad thing. There's value in things being different, that's for sure. But look at this. I think that you mentioned already, yeah, you're in the desert. That is going to slow you down, but you got neutral stuff all around you. You're kind of tucked away in the corner. We're going to go to here, and then we're going to go down to here. I don't know. Maybe we find a whirlpool and we can jump on there quickly. I don't know. Tough to say. Tough to say. But I do know that if there's 2 barbarians on the map, there's not. There's 1 barbarian and then the knights. These barbarians and knights, they're the ones I hope that I stay away from the longest. Let them beat down on my other mid to late game opponents, and then I will come in and I will pick up the pieces. Mage Guild level 3, is this going to change our mind about whether we move forward or not? It does not. For now, we don't need the Cold Ring or the Anti-Magic. We'll come back later, but if we find any amount of Mercury, we're going straight to that 4th level Mage Guild and having a real good time. Fire Elementals, obviously. And 12. I'm going to purchase all of these Fire Elementals. Is this enough? Got the 1 defense. As many Cold Rays as you want. Steel Skin round 1. 40 HP. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this fight, and I think it's going to say that I lose, and I think I'm going to win anyway. And I don't want to fight this fight, but you need the Mercury. You need this Mercury. And it's going to take me at least 4 or 5 days to come back. I don't want to wait 4 or 5 days. I do not. It's going to say I lose, and I'm going to win anyway. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm easily going to win. Yeah, now that I look at it this way, now it's very much apparent to me that I'm going to win. All right, so 6 attack, 2 defense versus my 7 defense. So first off, let's cast the Steel Skin. I think that the Steel Skin's more important than anything else, and I don't want to get surrounded by these wolves. I just want to stay in this corner. Yeah, I just want to stay in the corner, I think. Do a little damage. Retaliate. Down to 9. Down to 4. And I think we just start doing the Cold Rays here. And I think I kind of want to do it this way, because then this wolf is not going to get into the fight. He's got to go all the way around. He can't reach. Oh, he can. Never mind. My bad. My bad. But even just that 6 extra defense, yeah, this fight instantly is turned on its head with no issues. Which is better, folks, might or magic? We've asked the question several times, and we've gotten several different answers. It feels like every single scenario, we get a different answer. Sometimes the answer is obviously, oh, clearly magic is so much better. And then sometimes there's a scenario where the might is what does it for us. I really appreciate that there's no guaranteed answer, that there's a little bit of back and forth there. Even now, I would ultimately still say that magic is better, but I think that we all understand that there's some interesting things to be done in some of these other ways. I think I do want to cast the Steel Skin on the Unicorns next turn. I think I want the Bless now, though. I think that with 11 elves instead of 8, though, I think that the Druids are much better as a Bless target, though. So we're going to Bless the Druids. Start doing damage here. I think that the Ogres are actually going to go south towards the Druids. I think that's what you're going to see in just a moment. Just to make sure that they do that, though, I'm going to step to here with this terrain. I can't step up the way I wanted. I wanted to step to here. It's a little too far away. Let's continue to work on just one stack. Yep, and I agree, and the AI agrees. It is going to be the elves that are the tougher stack. So the fire elementals are a little bit out of there. You know, they're not quite where they need to be. That's a little bit sad. Stack here. Let's move down. Let's move. Do I want to attack this stack? Do I want to let it hit me? I think I do. With the defense, I think I want to let this stack hit me here. It's going to be 4 instead of 8. 14 damage, that feels fine to me. Because there was a chance that there was going to be a blind. If the blind had come through, I would look like a genius. It didn't happen, and that's okay, but it could have been okay. And then because of the defense of these Ogre Lords anyway, I think I just want to do the Cold Ray instead of a Bless or something else. Bloodlust could be okay. I just don't think I have the stacks to justify that way of doing things, that manner of business. Can I kill? I can kill one of these Ogre Lords here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to step to 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'd rather protect the Druids. At all costs, I'd rather protect the Druids. So we'll go to here. We'll go to here. I think I can... Oops, that was actually... That was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was okay. I hope I don't lose sprites here. I might. I don't. 1 unicorn goes down. At this point, that's already saved us 2 unicorns, though. The AI thought we were going to lose 2 unicorns. We're going to lose 1 unicorn, 1 of these fire elementals. Everything else is going to be fine. Peachy keen. Absolutely peachy keen. One and 1. 1,200 experience. Ooh. And I already know the answer to this, but it feels so bad. Let me get it caught up on chat, and then we'll talk about this. But you decide in your mind which is better here, and then we'll have a conversation. Bearded Man says, in reply to the idea of balance, I believe it was, indeed, it's all right for teams to swap between factions. Even if the differences seem too great, you can always play small maps because the early game balance is different. That's such a good point. So really, Heroes of Might and Magic 2 games, they should be played in a series. It should be like a best of 5. It shouldn't be all the marbles for one XL map. It should be multiple different types of maps and different types of strategies and different types of factions. Yeah, I think that would make sense to get a true understanding of who wins that round of games over a 5 or 7 game series. I think that's a really good way of looking at that. Heroes Broken Alliance says depends. I'd say short term, yeah. Long term, good balance keeps it interesting longer. I think there's something to be said there. But then again, this is a game from 1996, and it is currently the year 2025. Vammy says Heroes Might Magic 1 Genius AI actually requires you to use every dirty trick in the book against them. That's true. It does. It does. Is it genius, or does it just know things it shouldn't know, though? That's the question. That is the inverse case, Heroes Broken Alliance says, where you create balance by abusing some mechanics. True there. True there. Vexen is in the chat. Hello, Vexen TV. Nice to have you here. Hello to you. Welcome, welcome. You should save before going to the fire element summoning. I said nothing. I forgot we don't need to fight them before we get them. Ah, you're right. Oh, with the one druid? Yeah, if it was one druid on Natasha trying to go through the fire elemental summoning, that would have been an ill-advised fight. I definitely agree. 100%. The true final boss says in Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Might with 50,000 power liches. Yeah, absolutely overwhelming. And still, I really like the idea of, like, Heroes 3 is just really fun in a lot of ways. But again, I kind of like... so Seth Tencent, he does the videos on YouTube. Hey people, Seth here. And one of my favorite lines he has is talking about Heroes of Might and Magic 3. It's a race to figure out whose bullshit strategy can beat whoever else's bullshit strategy. And I think that that's a very hilarious and funny way of looking at it, because yeah, if you can get the Cloak of the Undead King or diplomacy and just get all these dragons into your army, congratulations, you won the game. My strategy was clearly ineffective compared to yours, and that's okay. That's okay. If everything is broken, then nothing is broken. Let's see. And then Vexen says some scenarios are made for a specific faction. True or two. That's true. That's very true. Boreaser is in the chat. Hello, Boreaser. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you back. So always a pleasure to have you there. Thank you for being here today. In 90s, before StarCraft, balancing didn't exist. Yeah, that's true. 3 factions that were actually balanced for StarCraft, that was revolutionary. Absolutely revolutionary. And I think that what they found is that when they went into Warcraft 3 and they tried to balance 4 factions, that they realized that it gets compoundingly more intricate and difficult to balance factions. The more factions you have, the more difficult it is to balance them. I don't know, but then we have Heroes of Might and Magic where you have so many different factions. Yeah, but it's different. RTS games, because StarCraft is specifically a game about counters. You know, you have light armor and heavy armor and so on and so forth. It does change. It really does matter. So anyway. All right, folks, I said we would talk about this. +1 spell power, great. Happy for it, no problems. Archery with sorceresses is so good, and it is very, very rarely offered. Archery for sorceresses is very rarely offered, but it is so good because you rely so heavily on your elves and your druids. And if you go into wizards later on, it can scale with the titans, and so there's lots of opportunities. Archery is an excellent skill. It's S tier for the sorceresses. However, we have also seen desert, we've seen snow, we've seen swamp, we've seen that there's going to be penalty terrain all the time. This is an XL map with tons of terrain penalty. What do you choose? Do you want to be better in battles, or do you want to be better on the adventure map? That's the question. Beardman says sorceresses are more likely to learn archery than pathfinding. Take the chance when it's given. Vexen says, I prefer, in my opinion, when factions are not balanced, more strategies to do. Yeah, that's true. More diverse ways of doing things. Bearded Man, yeah, I think that archery is a little bit more likely. All right, folks, we're doing it. I'm going to the Heroes of Might and Magic manual. because there's actually a table in the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 area where you can actually pull up the manual and it will tell you this sort of stuff. Let me pull this up here so that everybody can enjoy this together. Manual. If you've never seen the manual for Heroes of Might and Magic 2 Gold, it's really awesome. Okay, here we go. So let me just move me up here so that way I can still be a part of this. Okay, so here's my Magic 2 Gold manual, and I know where I'm going. I'm just going to hit Control F. I'm just going to go to Skills. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Yeah, we're right about there. Here we go. This is the table I'm looking at. Secondary skill advancement. Each secondary skill has a different chance to be learned by each hero type. The table below lists the secondary skills and the hero types with an indication on how often that skill will be learned. So if you're wondering why your barbarian or your knight struggles to learn wisdom, this is the table that will tell you what's going on here. The higher the number, the higher the chance of that skill will be available to learn. The lower the number, the lower the chance of the skill will be to learn. For example, if we go to, where is it? Necromancy. Barbarians can't learn necromancy, neither can knights. Necromancers get it all the time. Warlocks have a very low chance, but they're the only other faction that can get necromancy. So a 0 is no chance, a 5 is very highly likely. Okay, so for the sorceresses here for archery, it's a 3, so it's kind of middle of the road, but I guess it's the higher end of the middle of the road. And then we're looking at comparing that to the pathfinding. You're right, Bearded Man. I thought it was backwards. I'm so glad that I get the opportunity to tell you how right you are. Bearded Man is completely correct. Sorceresses are more likely to get offered archery than they are the pathfinding. So very interesting. Huh. I love that. In fact, I think I confused sorceresses with wizards. Wizards have like no chance of getting archery, and they have 3 shooters in their faction. You're best off, if you're the wizard faction, maybe getting a sorceress hero so that way you can get the archery. Very interesting, very interesting. So I think that tells us everything we need to know. We can still get archery later. Let's go with the pathfinding for now and have a real good time doing it. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun when you're playing Heroes of Might and Magic at a high level and you're taking all these things into consideration? Who would have thought that numbers would be fun? I'm not saying that we should like make a spreadsheet and just play the game based off of a spreadsheet, but it's kind of fun when you're able to do that. That's a fun time. That was a fun deal. I really liked that. Thank you so much. Folks, this is beautiful. Look at this. What just happened? A new month. Astrologers proclaim this to be the month of the unicorn. After regular growth, the population of unicorns is doubled. Does that mean? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. We have 16 unicorns we can purchase. That is a power stack. That's massive. Not to mention, somebody picked up diplomacy a little while ago. And so if we get enough gold, we might be able to get some of these other troops to join us. Let's try and get up to advanced or expert diplomacy before we try and fight those fights, though. Because if I can get all of a stack of unicorns to join me, we're going to be having an excellent time. And it looks like there's some things we can do up here anyway. Let's just carry on and figure out what's next. 1,500 gold. We still do kind of need the gold. Definitely want that there. 6 more mercury. Very good. We're up to 7. That's actually enough for our just about level 4 Mage Guild. Tell you what, let's pick up the marketplace now. We're going to want it eventually. We've needed it for a while, so let's grab that now. Watchtower, I don't know. I don't think that that's very likely to be useful. An oracle, let's grab that. And let's see if we can save any amount of these sprites. Let's see. Heroes Broken Alliance says, a little elaboration on the H2 game longevity. I'd say nostalgia is a major driver here. Oh, I could not agree with more with you. What an excellent point you're making there. I do agree. So yeah, I'd be wrong if I didn't give you your kudos immediately for that, because I think that it's so very true. So I'm with you on that for sure. But H3, which isn't much older than H2, is vastly more popular, and I'd say one of the reasons is balance. But alas, Heroes2 forever. You know, I think that you make an excellent argument, and it would be wrong of me. One of the things I try and do the best at, whatever I can do, my hope is that if somebody gives me a good argument, that I listen to reason, and I recognize when a good argument is being made. I think that you might have swayed me just now. Yeah, I think that you might have just absolutely swayed me to agree with your position that balance is important for the longevity of the game, because I think that we've seen for sure that Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the balance does matter. I think you're definitely onto something there. So yeah, I like the argument. I think that's an excellent argument. I think that sways me. I appreciate that. Good argument. Good argument. Roman says H2 lack of balance is visible in good versus evil scenario. It's easy as the evil, much harder as the good. Yeah, I dig that too, absolutely. I think that, okay, well, which is harder, folks? Is the good campaign for Roland easier or harder than Archibald's? You tell me, but I think I know where I sit on that. Nestled among the trees sits a blind seer. After you explain the intent of your journey, the seer activates his crystal ball, allowing you to see the strengths and weaknesses of your opponents. We're going to stay on this screen for just a second here. And Bearded Man says, I mean, it's the same in real life. Staying true to your morals always makes things harder. The good people have an inherent disadvantage because they're trying to do good things and they're failing, or it's just a struggle. Never thought of it that way, but I like where you're coming from there. Oh no. That's bad, that's bad, that's bad. That's okay. That's actually good. I don't know if a genie is categorized as being better or worse than a Hydra. I think in the most recent patch for FHeroes2, I think that they fixed where the dungeon AI, the Warlock AI, was rushing into Mage Guild levels rather than getting swamps and green, red, or black towers for dragons. This is just very interesting to me. This is already a loss. There's Titans on the board with a 10 attack, 12 defense barbarian hero. Like, we are in trouble. We are in big trouble, right? But if there's some dragon opportunity maybe where we're not gonna have to fight dragons, that could be useful. I think that this tells me everything I need to know. I don't care about anything else but red. Red is beefy. Red is scary. Red is going to dominate us all with a mix of awesome troops and awesome stats. They're already best in income, army strength, artifacts, castles. And we are at the end of all this. At the end of all things. Very interesting. One more time. Red is over here. Let's stay far, far away from them. Let's actually see. Let's conquer this area as much as we can. And then I think that we hop in the boat and we just sail over here if we can. I think that that's what I want to do. Let's try and take here and here and here because this just looks too tasty for me. Let's be here. Let's do this now. Let's hope for the best very, very soon. One pile of wood in the lean-to. Couldn't I just burn down the lean-to and just take the wood there? Like, couldn't I just scavenge it off of that? Interesting. Interesting. Level 4 Mage Guild. We got Mass Shield. If we're going to be up against Titans, Mass Shield is good. Not my favorite spell, but that's okay. Meteor Shower. Okay. All right. Whatever. Whatever. And then let's just hope when we get our Mage Guild levels for 5, let's hope that we do not get something like Dimension Door or Town Portal, something that we can't use immediately because we do want to use that very soon. Folks, something happened. Something big just happened. We found his trading post. We are getting Phoenixes this week. I don't care what else happens. We are getting Phoenixes this week. Summon Boat. That's a good spell. Good for that. But with the ability to trade at a really nice clip, I think that getting up to this Mercury is not going to be that big of a deal. I think we're going to get the Phoenixes this week. And I don't think we were going to otherwise. So good stuff. Let me just take one quick look here. Any good hero? No. These heroes are just kind of meh. Interesting. Very interesting. Beardman says, Fix Fox has less army strength than all of his enemies. The position is bad. That is probably the most apt analysis I could have ever hoped for. It's very true. I'm sad to admit that you're very, very much correct. It's all my fault. I did start off with a bit of a handicap, if we do recall. So, my bad. I'm going to go up the road as far as I can, and then I'll turn back around. I don't know where this road really is going to go to. Archers, for a treasure chest, I just might lose more forces than I want to have to deal with. So I'm going to ignore that for now. I'll come back. Remember, we do want to get to the trading post. It's day 4. Oh, and we found a green hero. You stole my Mercury. Thundax. The Destroyer, the Betrayer. Steelskin, Cold Ray, Bloodlust. We're doing 80 points of damage with the Cold Ray. He's got several of the War Trolls, a few of the Cyclopes, several of the Ogre Lords, and a pack of the Orc Chiefs. I think I win this fight. 40 spell points? How many Cold Rays is that? 6 Cold Rays with 4 spell points left for like a Bless or a Shield. 80 points of damage. That's gonna be 2 War Trolls. I think I win this fight, especially since there's an observation tower here. I think I'm very grateful for this, but yeah, I think that we absolutely want to fight this fight, and so we shall. You liar. He would have to be so tough. He would have to be impossibly difficult to deal with. Thundax is impossibly difficult to deal with. 6 of the attack, 4 of the defense, 4 spell power, 3 knowledge. The attack, skill, and defense, that's kind of what I expected. The spell power and knowledge, that's a little scary, because if he has any amount of spells that can counter me, I'm feeling kind of bad. We feel obligated to kill 2 War Trolls right now. And we're probably going to kill 1 more stack of them in just a moment. I think that the rest of my damage, let's see, can I kill 1 War Troll? I might be able to kill 1 War Troll with all of this. Let's not waste the damage though. Let's kill Orc Chiefs where we can. Blind onto the Unicorns, that's not good. 2 of the Druids goes down. I don't know. I'm going to put the Fire Elementals, let's see. Just in the middle of the battlefield, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put them here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put them here, I'm safe, but I'm still threatening, which is good. More Orc Chieftains, kill another 2 to 3. There's 4 Cyclopes. That's kind of a couple. That's a few anyway. If wherever I attack with these sprites, the Ogre Lords are going to do some damage. I'm at risk of getting blind locked, and it's going to last for 4 turns. I'm at risk anyway. You don't want to risk not killing 1 full War Troll. I could just start getting damage off into the Cyclopes and do full damage there. Let's deal with the Orc Chiefs. We only killed 2. 5 sprites there. Okay. It's gonna be 1 Cold Ray per Cyclopes. And I've got 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cyclops can't reach me this turn. I don't have a way of stopping them though. I think I still want to just focus here. And now knowing that the sprites are hemmed up over there, I think I just want to start pumping damage onto these Cyclops. Maybe not. Because 13 defense versus 8 defense. Now knowing that there was a good luck in there, it feels kind of bad. But at least we handled that. If I go back with the fire elementals, the Cyclops and the Ogre Lords might come back to deal with me. I'll do 20 to 30 damage, and then the Druids could either follow up or the sprites could follow up. It just depends. Let's see what these guys do. 22 points of damage. Sprites are dead, but then that gives the Druids a little bit more breathing room. Cyclops are going to have to take 2 more turns to get down the battlefield now. I think I killed the one troll. I'm okay with this because my power is in my cold rays. Like that's where my strength is. Let's continue to do that. I don't think I want to attack here. I want to keep these fire elementals alive for as long as possible. What if I, let's see, 1, 2. I'm guessing if I sit here or here that the Cyclops are not going to accidentally laser eye themselves. But if they were going to laser eye themselves, I think that they'd want to step up 3 positions so that they're closer to this side. Maybe I'm going to get them to attack their own Ogre Lords. Let's see. Nope, they're too smart. Okay. You are out of spell points, though. So as bad as this is, you are out of spell points. And then this is going to wear off in just a second. We're going to have 2 more cold rays. I don't have enough damage. The blinds have really been pretty nice for them. Yeah, I don't have enough damage. I have to hope for a blind somewhere. If I attack here, then I could bring down 1 more Cyclops on this retaliation that's about to come out. If I blind this stack, I'll feel kind of dumb. Okay, we did kill 1 of the Cyclops. Okay, elves are up. Bring them down, Legolas! Bring them down! Down to 2 here. Ah, it's not enough. 75 HP. This is not enough. We needed full spell points. We've got, if we have 110 spell points, then we rock this scenario and we just like run away and we're fine, we fight. But 4 speed, 5 speed, 6 speed elves, even if I'm able to get all 16 shots off, is that gonna kill all these creatures? I don't think so. How much damage have we been doing? 23 points of damage, call it 50 points of damage at a time. I don't think that they're gonna let me do that though. Probably should have cast the Bless a minute ago. Tell you what, let's start running. Let's do our best to stay alive. Ugh. Be gone. Okay, well, what did we learn? I was having flashbacks to the single Cyclops defeating griffins, centaurs, and gargoyles. I was having flashbacks. I thought that we were doomed. I'm very glad that we're not doomed. But let's see. Let me think. What I'm trying to do right now is this. I'm trying to think if there's a way we could have actually won that fight. We're not going to reload. We're going to accept our loss here. But I'm wondering if there was a way that I could have tactically done that scenario differently. Steel skin onto the unicorns. Would steel skin onto the unicorns have been better? I think it might have been. Because if you steel skin the unicorns, maybe they get another shot and maybe they get the chance to blind. If you're able to get a big blind off on either the Cyclops or onto the Ogre Lords, then you can run around with your shooters. And actually, bringing down the Cyclops stack first is critically important because it's 5 speed versus 4 speed. I mean, if there's a 4-speed creature chasing a 6-speed stack of elves, like you can eventually get away and you can eventually get all your shots off. I think that we needed to focus on the Cyclops a little bit more than we did. One way or the other, like being able to look, it's like an autopsy. Is doing the autopsy going to bring the body back from the dead? No, it's not. But it's important to do the autopsy so that way we can figure out if there's anything we can do in the future to prevent that sort of deal from happening. I think that we underestimated the value of the Cyclops there. Being 5-speed, I think that we should have recognized that 6-speed, 4-speed, well, you can always outrun there, but you can't really outrun there. And you need to bring down so there's only one stack, so that way you don't get caught in a weird spot. So if I could have fought this fight differently, I would have done that, I think. That would have been different. Maybe a steel skin there. I don't know. Tough to say. But we're going to accept that that was a loss. That happened. These things do happen. And the biggest issue with that is this, is that we really wanted to go to that trading post. I was going to go in this direction and come back. We've missed out on that opportunity now. So Phoenixes are going to be for another day, another time. In the meantime, we haven't been getting dwarves this whole time, have we? In the meantime, we're going to purchase all these troops, which, let's be clear, that's a lot of unicorns. And then with whatever's left over, we will then try and get into something nice later. But not the best fight I've ever fought. Wish things had gone a little bit differently. That's okay. These things do happen. Alrighty, let me get caught up on chat. Yeah, but Bearded Man, that was where we left off, was Fix Fox is in a bad spot. Yep, I agree. Oh no, run! Gwyneth the Knight is just scouting. There's no way she can like catch me because I've got the expert navigation, but I don't want to go in this direction. I want to run far away from her and just stay alive in these aisles to do some scouting and see what else is there. Let's send Astra up. No, she needs to stay overnight for 110 spell points. Yeah, that would have changed things drastically, actually. Big shame, big shame. Okay. And then Roman says, as far as H3 balance matters, but part of the success are special heroes abilities and a few new structures as well as like the one-way teleporters. It was more RPG like a protagonist on a quest. Yeah, I dig that. I think I can definitely agree with that. Ooh, this is nice. I think that I can definitely agree with that. There were some elements in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 that just felt really high quality. And I am very happy for the way that the game turned out in general. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of RPG qualities here as well for Heroes 2. I mean, that's what Heroes is based off. It's based off of the adventure. But still, I think that you're definitely on to something when you say that Heroes 3 implemented some things that made it easier to enjoy those elements. So I agree with that. I definitely do. We're going to take the gold here. My hope is that maybe these unicorns will join me. No, they do not. Should have split off a single stack here. Get the hints. That's 8 unicorns that die. We'll kill one more stack here. And stack here. Kill. Sprites get a free shot. And we're going to get to go first because we got 6-speed creatures. So we'll go like this. Life is so much easier when you can just cast spells all day long. Weird how that works. Strange, if I do say so myself. Huh. Okay, I had a thought. If we're not going to go for Phoenixes, maybe we go for the 5th level Mage Guild. That might actually be pretty useful. Lots of swordsmen? Yeah, with you and what army? No. We're getting back into the boat. And Christina Diamond says, what in the world was Jezebel doing so far? My goodness. Yeah, Jezebel with her 10 attack, 10 defense, or 12 defense, whatever that is. Absolutely insane. She is drinking her muscle milk. Whatever she's doing, it's crazy. And I do want to stay far, far away from her. Okay, red's in the water. Blue is kind of traveling up this area. That's not the elves I want, but that's still pretty nifty that that's happened twice in a row. Rebecca here, Phineas here, Thundax here. We are going to go chase down Thundax. We're going to head north still, but let's make this very expensive trade, folks. Let's see. getting rid of most of this. Is it 10? It's 10. I mean, I feel like there's sulfur somewhere else. Let's explore first to see if there's any amount of sulfur we can just steal. That's a lot of gold. Up here, maybe? No. It's a lot of resources to trade. I don't know if I really want to trade that much. Because this is my sulfur mine, but you can't reach it from this position. Not even through the tree. You need 5. Just want to suck it up and do it. Do one here, a little bit here, a little bit there. I think we do. Is this 5 wood? It's 5 wood, so we can trade the wood too. Alrighty. Doesn't feel great, folks. We traded a lot of resources there. We had the trading post. We didn't go for it. That feels bad. But we get Resurrect True. That is absolutely worth it. Resurrect True is a 5th level spell that we are now going to take with our hero that's got 83 spell points. We're unstoppable. How many hit points of Resurrect True do we have? 200 HP? We're going to resurrect 200 HP at a time. That's 5 unicorns. We can resurrect 5 unicorns forever at a time at the low cost of 15 spell points. We can cast that at least 4 times. That's 90 spell points. 5 times if we're up to full spell points. This is worthwhile. I'm very happy that we made the change now. If it was something like I don't know, if it was something like a Dimension Door, we would have felt really, really sad. I think we feel great now. But now the question is this enough of a force to go and fight other enemies? I mean, we know what's up here. We know what's up here. It doesn't look like there's much. Maybe there's something right there. I don't know. But is this really the best way that we want to spend our time? Do we want to hire a boat and try and get over here in the bottom left, bottom right? I have to go north only because I don't know what's to the other direction. If I had a Magellans Maps and I could chart a course to this area, I would, but I can't. I simply cannot. So I have to go north because it just makes the most sense to me, but I am very well aware that there's other things I'd like to do on this map, and I've got a big enough force I can absolutely do this. That red hero who just landed, they are in for a world of hurt. They're in for a real bad time. Throng of peasants for some crystal. Still just scouting. But remember that there's some red players here we have to deal with. I'm gonna get another hero to manage some of these other things. We gotta go. We got stuff to do. Not you. Not yet, anyway. And then Roman says, I mean, H3 campaign scenarios were more railroaded. My friends loved it. I did not. Railroaded in the sense that you had certain things that you had to do. Is that kind of what you mean by that? I think that that's fair to say. That there wasn't as much freedom in the way that you completed the maps. Yeah, I think that that's a very fair thing to say. There's sulfur. We're going to want land here, grab all this. And I don't know. I really did enjoy... I've enjoyed the campaigns for Heroes 3. Please don't think that I don't. But completing the Heroes Might Magic 2 campaigns were an absolute pleasure. I don't know how else to say it. It was just such a pleasure because they were very difficult in a way that I've never really experienced before as a Heroes player. The Heroes 2 scenarios to defeat in the campaign, exceptionally difficult, exceptionally tough. And if you haven't done it, give it a try. You're going to have a real good time doing it, I think. Freeing a virtuous maiden from the clutches of an evil overlord, you were granted a Medal of Valor by the King's Herald. But I do think it's fair to say that Heroes 2 was the original, and then Heroes 3 iterated off of the things that Heroes 2 did well. I don't think that there's any problem with saying that there was some new things that happened, some adjustments, some changes, and I don't think that that's bad to say. I don't think that there's any problem with that at all. Let's hopefully kill one full stack here. We do not. Let's save spells. Let's kill single stacks where we can. It's pretty good. Single stacks where we can. The whole goal of this right now is to keep these enemies alive. We could kill the whole stack, and then just, if we kill the whole stack, the peasants will kill us. I think I just want to wait. I don't want the enemy to run away too quickly. 2 to 3. What if I do this? It's not gonna be enough. Wait, 45? That's 3 boars. Yeah, at best we're gonna kill 6. I could do this, but then the 6-speed boars get to go. I'm just trying to keep the enemies from running. 80 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unicorns are too far away. I feel like if I kill 1 full stack, the enemy is just going to go wild. It's possible I get good morale here. I just don't have a good way of dealing with these creatures necessarily. Just to make sure that this goes correctly, let's do it like this. Let's try and take out these creatures here, and then if we get good morale here or here, then we're in a good spot. Last chance, well, 2 more chances for romance. Good luck, good morale. What good is blood morale if you can't get 1 instance of good morale to keep the enemy from running? I ask you. Okay, we're gonna pick up Troyan. Darn it. Leave the dwarves. She's gonna go grab this. You always need a hero at home for something, I'm sure. And then Vammy says, I'm going to be the little devil on your shoulder and tell you to use Dimension Door or Town Portal if you get it, since the AI is advanced enough now that you need any advantage you can get. That is, I appreciate that somebody's looking out for Fix Fox. Thank you. I appreciate that. I still don't know if we'll do it. I think that the AI, I mean, that's a very interesting conversation that I haven't really questioned. Like, really, I have not questioned that, and maybe I should. Is the AI advanced enough that I should probably start to do that now? I don't know the answer. I really, truly do not. Let me take a quick look at this. We got 4-speed creatures. They've got 4-speed creatures. I need him to come down a little bit, and then I'll chase him with full movement points. But it's reasonable to say that the AI is good enough that you don't have to pull any punches, especially on a 6-player map. I'm happy with my Resurrect True, though. That's for sure. Happy with the Resurrect True. Aha! He's still too fast, I think. We might have to go through the unicorns to get to him. Can we reach? Nah, he's too fast. He's got logistics or something. Darn. Glorious victory. Unicorns didn't want to join us. Oh, that's another tough choice. That's such a tough choice. Why are they doing this to me? Folks, I'm going to let you make the decision here. Let me get caught up on chat. But yeah, AI has gotten good enough. I definitely agree with that, Vammy. It doesn't need any help from me. Bearded Man says he is probably carrying magical skill affecting artifacts. There are lots to win from this fight. Yeah, I think that you're absolutely correct, Bearded Man. And so that was my error on that. Real sad. Vammy says, imagine he doesn't have those artifacts and he's just been hitting the books. If I start getting big and you guys start noticing, like, okay, my goal is to start working out so much that chat says, Fix Fox, you've been working out. If you can tell through a camera that somebody's been working out, then you know that they're really hitting the gym pretty hard. On the flip side, how do you know if somebody's really been hitting the books? Tough to say. Bearded Man says, so Fix Fox, having lost 2 fights, it's apparent that you should better estimate the abilities of your opponents. Bearded Man, whose side are you on? No, you're completely correct. You're 100% correct, Bearded Man. I completely agree with you. And I think I overestimated my spell casting abilities in that previous fight. I think that's what it really was. Really, when I saw that he had the spell power and the knowledge let him cast the blinds in the previous fight. That's really what got me, I think, in the previous fight. Yeah, he blinded me 3-4 times. That was a lot. So I did not account for that. I need to do better of that in the future. Heroes Broken Alliance says, yeah, I do the same. Never reload, but later before falling asleep, rethinking every lost battle. Yeah, we're doing an awful lot of that. Vammy says, ogres are super busted, good combat stats, and a lot of HP to tank the spells. You're correct, but what else do the barbarians have? Like, they're a great unit. They're an awesome unit. They're definitely not like busted though, because you have to have a busted unit for the barbarians to really have something that can carry them into the mid to late game. And the ogres are it, I think. True Final Boss says, unless you lose 5 unicorns and the battle ends before your turn comes again. Yeah, it's true. We're talking about the Resurrect True and the value of the Resurrect True is. Boreaster says 15 spell points. With 83 spell points, you can cast it 5 times. 60. Oh, you're right. 6. You can cast it 6 times for 90 and then a little bit more there. 15, 30, 45, 60, 70. Yeah, okay. I'm with you. My bad. Math is hard. Math is hard. Math is harder on camera. If you've never tried it before, try doing your math Olympics when you are worried about letting people down. You'll find out that your math skills go out the window. Vexen TV says H2 has better visuals than that of 3. I agree with that. H2 is upgraded H1. H3 is much more different. That is a very good point. Heroes Might Magic 1 to Heroes 2 is a different game. Different game entirely. It's not the same game. It's really not. But going from Heroes 2 to Heroes 3, it's the same game, just with more or better or different visuals, unit types, additions. And so really, when people talk about their favorite in the series, I don't think that the people that say Heroes Might Magic 4 is the best in the series, I don't think that they're wrong. I think that it's got some different elements that you don't have in other games. And if that's what makes that your favorite, then I think that that's a valid opinion. Truly, I do. Same thing with us Heroes 2 enthusiasts. It's not Heroes 3, absolutely, but it's got certain things that are strengths for it. So yeah, Heroes 2, there's really a conversation there about what makes a game the best. And then Heroes Broken Alliance, Archery, since you have 2 good range stacks. I hear that. We're seeing that this Barbarian is running very far away from us, though. That's a question there. Christina Diamond says Archery, okay. Beardman says Logistics is always good. Archery may not be that good when you shift to Phoenixes, Fire Elementals, and Unicorns. I mean, you guys are all correct. I really could eeny, meeny, miny, moe this. I really could. I really could. I'm going to go with the Logistics here. Archery, we've seen the value of that. We've also seen how having some of our troops be shut down with a blind, that causes us issue. I'm going to hope that we can get Archery later. I'm going to take the Logistics. It's an XL map. If this was a medium or even a large map, I think I'd go with the Archery. Given that it's XL and there's tons of room to run, I'm going to go with the Logistics. But you would not be wrong in taking the Archery. That's just my 2 cents. And folks, knowing that we just took the Logistics, we're absolutely going to be able to catch Thundax this upcoming turn. He is in our sights. Just like Miley Cyrus once said, I got you in my sights and I'm ready to aim, which doesn't make a lot of sense because if he's in your sights, then you've already aimed. But, you know, just because you're a musician doesn't mean that you get the nuances of the subtle art of BSing your way through random bits of language. One of my favorite movies is Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams. And of course, he's got the famous line where he says, what is language but an opportunity and a tool to woo the opposite sex? And I say opposite sex because that goes for ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, when was the last time you were wooed by a pretty lady? If you say it's been a minute, I highly recommend that you figure out what you got to do to get what you need. Go get wooed, my guys. Go get wooed. All right. Can't reach him. Enemy has fled. This is going to be a lightning bolt and run, isn't it? 1, 2 troops. I've got the 1 cold ray or the cold ring. I could kill 2 stacks here. Then kill here, kill here. Maybe now I get the good morale. If I do, then I get out of this fight with no losses. Let's see if we can do it. Good luck is all right, but that's not what I really want. I need the good morale. Right here or here? So sad. 31 experience, 4 of the elves go, or the druids goes down. Very, very sad indeed. They wandered up into here, but I don't think that there's anything much there. We'll grab this mercenary camp, trading post. I think we were still too far away from the red tower. Yeah, we traded too many resources previously. We're just gonna have to wait for red tower for another day. Very sad. And I think we saw somebody in the water here. I think that my spidey senses are tingling. I think that we're gonna wanna land here. Number 1, it's going to give us the opportunity to get the lighthouse. Number 2, an enemy can't land here unless we take the gold because there's nowhere to land. You can't land on top of a gold pile. So I'm not sure if this is the best decision, but my spidey senses are tingling. What else can I say? Okay. Worth noting, by the way, we are feeling some pressure to the south here. We got this purple player Ruby. They are scouting our area and they're taking all these freebies that I didn't really feel like I had time for. This is a big loss. I wish I'd done a little bit more to be aggressive in that area, but I wasn't. I just had this one hero, Natasha, in the water. Maybe that was an error. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe I need to send Troyan out. She's out of movement points, so she's not going to go today, but maybe I should have sent her out into the water a little bit ago. Maybe that was an error on my part. Mercenary camp. You've come upon a mercenary camp practicing their tactics. The mercenaries welcome you and your troops and invite you to train with them. +1 attack. Lovely. And I've got to get this observation tower. Tell you what, a couple of little errors here and there have absolutely cost us. We would have had phoenixes by now. Nope, not anymore. I'm gonna get, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab the observation tower because I just feel like I need to know what's up here. I'm gonna send Tasha up into this area just a little bit more. And I might even try and land the boat. I can land it over here. But I just want to get back as quickly as I possibly can. Oh, ice spell. Now that is interesting. Folks, a few phoenixes guard this little island. If you can take this ice spell town, I'm guessing that this is actually a big deal. Number one, this is a free 1,000 gold. Because phoenixes are not that big of a deal. I think that we're going to take this, and I'm guessing that there's going to be a Mage Guild in here. Don't ask me why, but Ice Spell. I've never seen that name for a town before in my life. And because of that interesting little wrinkle, I'm guessing that this is a specially built town. Has to be. Has to be, doesn't it? Meanwhile, here's Ruby. Ruby, don't do anything dumb. Stay right where you're at. I'm not going to get into the boat right now. I hope that they don't try and take this alchemist lab. But yeah, Bearded Man, I bet that Ice Spell has a Mage Guild with ice spells. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, it wasn't until FHeroes2 made it so you could do some fun stuff. It wasn't until FHeroes2 made it so you could pick which spells are there. But wouldn't that be awesome? It's got Ice Ray and Cold Ring, and I feel like there's got to be like an ice spell that does more somehow. I don't know what it would be, but it feels like there has to be one somewhere. Folks, Thundax was a secondary hero. We lost to a courier. Of course, he now has a whole bunch of nothing. 7 attack, 4 defense, 4 spell power, a little bit of knowledge. I'm not loving this, but Can we bring this guy down? It's possible. If we get one instance of good morale here or here, we might be able to bring these gentlemen down. Nope. How about here? Nope. What about here? Glorious victory. Finally, we beat our foe. Does he have any artifacts? Nope, I figured not. Let's cast this spell, View Towns, though, real quick. Barbarians here. There's no towns for any length of time. Yeah, I want this gold mine more than anything else. It's time to go south. And as we head over here, we're going to hit the trading post. We're going to trade so we can have the mercury necessary for other stuff later. And we'll come back. Oop, genies. That's good. It's going to take like 3 days for my troops to get over here. Tell you what, let's go through the whirlpool a couple times. There's one. There's two. There goes a couple of these fire elementals. Okay, all right. Free scouting. Free scouting, still good. It's all free. It's not free anymore. I've officially decided that at some point losing fire elementals doesn't feel good. That shouldn't be a shock and a surprise to anybody, but here we are. I'm gonna land right here. I'll pick up the genies. And again, nobody can land behind me. I'm going to pick that up, and then in a couple of days I'll get back here. If I needed to, for some reason, if we just lost this hero, I could hire a boat here and I could summon it up yonder. I doubt I'll need to, but I could. Vexen says that this map is actually very pretty. I agree with that. This is a pretty looking map. Yeah, I really like the look of this map. There's 6 mercury. We're up to 18. We don't need to trade that much, it looks like. A genie lamp. We stumble upon a dented and tarnished lamp, lodged deep in the earth. Do you wish to rub the lamp? I do. It's going to be 4 genies. It's going to take us down to 9 gems. But yeah, beautiful, like varied. It looks well done. I enjoy this map. I'm enjoying this map. Can we reach? Yes, we can. Shall we reach? Yes, we shall. Just a few peasants? I mean, that just seems obvious. I'll teach you to land on my place. Plot twist there, fire mages, Vexen says. I mean, isn't that what happened with Greenland and Iceland? Somebody just didn't want people to come visit their green, beautiful looking place. I think that's what I've been told in the past. Okay, what do we need? We need a little bit of mercury because unfortunately the enemy is taking away some other opportunities. And folks, it only took us a month and a half. We're only on month 2, week 3, but we finally got phoenixes. My goodness. I feel like a failure in the smallest way possible. In the most inconsequential way possible. Don't worry. I'm definitely not catching feelings about this one, but there was an opportunity to do better. And yeah, just a couple of weird choices have kind of caught up to us in a weird way. But there's no use crying over spilt milk. We do have the Resurrect True. That might be the very best spell we could need. If we're talking about might versus magic, like at some point, you gotta say to yourself, look, either it's true or it's not true that magic is better. I have to believe that this magic will do wonders for us and that will work. Astra's gonna go into the boat. We're gonna hand off these genies. We're gonna hand off this good morale. Yeah, that's fine to me. And then Tasha, I do want to see if there's anything up here. Maybe there's something up there. It just looks enticing. And then tomorrow we're gonna hire a boat and send heroes off because we want to reclaim our alchemist lab. All right, Vexen says, yeah, and they switched names with Greenland and Iceland because there were people refusing the new Norway monarchy. Oh, I didn't know that that's how that worked. Oh, very interesting. Uh-oh. Is there something really good back here? There's probably something really good back there, isn't there? That's okay, there's something really good right here too. Yeah, I didn't know that that's how that worked. Unfortunately, other than Magellan and Christopher Columbus, I don't know much about the early explorers. I know that there's some question in some people's minds about whether it was Vikings or, you know, who explored and discovered what? Who discovered America first, but I don't know. I don't know enough basic information to know if I can challenge that conventional thinking or not. Folks, this is weird. Blue player's been vanquished. Here's why this is weird. Blue player was the necromancers. Blue player was the player that took this castle. Blue had this castle and this castle. Oh, and then they got overwhelmed by red. Okay. Red is big and scary. Yellow is still staying put. I'm terrified. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm officially worried. Lots of Cyclops. We're definitely not going to beat them. Let's go back for this Oracle. This Oracle. We need more information. We need a lot more information. I'm going to fight Ice Spell first. I don't know. Call it a... What? Ah, Sugarfoot. That was unexpected. All right. Vexen says, that's why they started to explore America, to stay away from Europe, except for the Denmarks. They build 2 nations, Vinland and Marksland. It's really is no use crying over spilled milk. Salty tears degrade the taste, preventing cats from drinking it. That's so sad. Oh, that's so sad. LMAO. We're still going to win because I have to believe that we're going to win. I don't know if we're going to win. There's just too much going on here. There is too much going on here. We have 19 unicorns. We're going to win. Trenlow's in the chat. Hello, Trenlow. Nice to have you here. Okay, first of all, my 16 grand elves are only going to kill like 50 of these halflings. There's no defense or offensive modifiers over here. My sorceress is only just like a 2 attack, 2 defense creature. We do have 97 spell points. I don't have a haste. I can't get the unicorns into the battle quicker. I can do a mass shield. Here, 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 mass shield. That seems too obvious. You got to do the mass shield. Right now, you have to do the mass shield. Because you're going to take so much damage from these ranged creatures anyway, that mass shield might actually be the difference between a win and a loss. One genie goes down. I mean, I don't really want to fight the Titans right here. I kind of want to see if I can half this stack of the rocks, because I don't want them to go and get into the elves or the druids. Maybe I can half the stack. Nope, 2 rocks goes down. 1 unicorn at a time. With the shield, they're only killing 1 unicorn at a time. That's not too bad. Okay, so the halflings are dealt with because the genies, they're going to have to take a hit here. Got to deal with the rocks? How much damage did the unicorn, or the... We'll deal with these ranged creatures later. For now, let's start dealing with these rocks. Fix Fox Wife. No, not the genie. Yes, not the genie indeed. Thank goodness for the mass shield, though. Seriously. Okay, I'm going to go to right here. Fully defensive position. I'm going to use the sprites to go down on these, go down and fight these halflings. Maybe they get a good, maybe they take some damage. Okay, so the genie's actually staying alive for 1 more turn. Okay, now we got 90 spell points. We have 90 spell points to win this fight. We can do 100 points of damage at a time. We can cast the elemental, the meteor shower. That'll do 125, 125, and then 65 points of damage because it's an elemental spell. So the steel golems will take half damage from that. But it does a lot for me, even though it's going to be half damage onto the golems. It still is good on the other 2 creatures. Okay. I kind of want to peel this genie off and try and get that. I kind of want to peel the genie off in just a second. We're down to 23 halflings. That's a non-factor. Oh no. You kind of needed that shield to prevent damage on these titans. The genie could sit right here. Is the damage from 3 titans? How many unicorns are you going to kill? You're not going to kill that many. You're really not. So you might as well just try and half this stack of, which is better, steel golems or the rocks? If you're going to try and use this one genie just to half a stack, you might as well go for the steel golems. Like truly, you might as well. Didn't get it. 3 unicorns goes down. Understandable. Have a nice day. Somebody's got to kill the Archmagi. And I'm going to see if I can maybe blind the rocks. Can't really blind the titans. Blind the rocks? Nope. This is not good. If I steal, I'm in a rough spot because if I steel skin the unicorns at this point, I don't know if they're going to survive another round of combat. How many unicorns did we just lose? 2, 3, so 5. With some extra defense, they might survive, but if you cast the steel skin and then all these creatures focus them down and they die before I can get the resurrect off, we're in a bad spot. I think it's worth the risk, though. Up to 13 unicorns. They're not going to kill 13. Yeah, they're not going to kill 13 anyway. Do I want to deal with these final bits of halflings? I mean, you got to deal with the titans at some point. I'm just like putting that off. I'm putting off dealing with the titans because there's so much other stuff to deal with. Retaliation here. 3 unicorns goes down. Let's kill a titan. Let's just get lucky. Get lucky, baby. 66 points of damage. Close, but not it. And there's 1 left. You see, even with the... What happened to the steel skin? Did I not cast the steel skin on the previous... No, I just cast the resurrect. We're going to kill a titan here. Roman says, having damage from the meteor shower by golems is kind of funny. Hey pals, I got hit by a giant stone, but fortunately it was made of earth. Yeah, seriously. Beardman says, if FixFox somehow wins this map after all these losses, I'm permanently changing the name of my channel. Well, now, I mean, now you've told me that, so now I have to do the best I can. Like, truly, I have to. I feel obligated. All right, we're going to kill a Titan here now. I think I'm going to let the Magi do whatever they want to do. Okay. And then the Titans are going to waste their damage killing this one unicorn, and then I'm going to... This is my last chance to resurrect the stack, though, isn't it? I could resurrect the genies. You might as well resurrect somebody. You might as well. 4 genies, it's not that good, but you might as well. Somebody's got to kill these stupid halflings. They're actually putting out meaningful damage. Okay, there goes that. 3 of the Archmagi. 1 genie perishes. Back up to 7 of the unicorns. This is tough. This is tough. Thankfully, the rocks have been just kind of wasting their time, which is great. But with only 30 spell points left, like, we are not... I mean, I think we're going to win this fight. I hope. I hope we win this fight. I hope we win this fight. We got 2 more resurrects. $17 HP. I really want to kill the mages so that way the unicorns get a chance to... Never mind. So that way the genies got a chance to go. They don't get the chance. I mean, the unicorns are just such a good stack. If we can kill the Titans, we might be in a position where we can kite the golems. 6 shots left, 11 shots. 11 shots there. I mean, you got to kill the Titans. Nothing else matters. So 31 to 50 damage there, 52 damage. There's 65 HP. Kill one, please. We almost killed one. Golems are going to kill the rest of the stack. Okay, we're finally going to kill Titans down to 1. The shield is worn off. I repeat, the shield has worn off. How many druids did we start with? We started with 10. I kind of want to let the druid stack get down and then just do one big resurrect true on them. Gotta kill the rocks. These guys have 20 shots left. This is not good. Alternatively, well, I mean, what are the alternatives? We could Cold Ray twice for 200 points of damage and just stack the damage onto the Titan. But then you'd have to basically kill the rocks dead in the next little bit. And then you'd have to kite with what little is left here. You've only got 5 shots with the Grand Elves. You've only got 5 shots with the Grand Elves. I'm gonna do this. This seems like a bad idea. But rather than do a Resurrect True, I'm gonna have to see if I can kill this one final Titan. Oh, and then if the rocks do that, then you're just sunk. Yeah, okay, never mind. They were really, I guess that they were just waiting on that one last thing. We're still gonna find a way to beat this map. I don't care. I don't care. Hashtag I refuse to lose. Hashtag you may not have a choice. Okay. There's literally 8 HP. Let me kill the one Titan and then I'm gonna run. Yeah! Moral victory. All right, there's nothing else I can do. Nothing else matters. Run! Oh my goodness. Could I have fought that fight any better? I don't think so. I don't think I could have fought that fight any better. I mean, obviously, now knowing what we know, you should have killed the Phoenixes first, because then you would have gotten the gold mine. You would have benefited from having the gold mine. My goodness, but that was 19. Okay, honestly, okay, here's the truth. Here's the truth. Early on, the Archmages, they got the 20% chance to dispel the shield from the unicorns. If I had mass shielded and then I had steel skinned the unicorns and then the unicorns did not lose that shield and the steel skin, I think that we're in a better spot, because then you are resurrecting the stack of creatures that has the very most defenses on your team, and it's a stack that can do a meaningful amount of damage. I think that that would have been the best thing, but then I kind of like lost my head and I was like, well, I don't want to steal skin and then lose the stack before I can resurrect them. And I think that that was the correct choice. Do I regret putting damage onto the halflings? No, stupid halflings. I don't regret that. At the end of the day, you were going to have to deal with, there was just so much to deal with. There was so much to deal with. And honestly, here's the truth. With this army, this was such a small army compared to what we had to deal with. Like, we acquitted ourselves pretty nicely. All things considered, we acquitted ourselves okay. I almost wonder if at some point I should have stopped trying to resurrect unicorns or genies. I should have just started to put damage down in the form of cold rays. Probably I should have. I think it would have gone a little bit further. Using the genies to half a stack is always a pipe dream. It's bad play. It's incorrect play to use the genies to try and half a stack. That is never the correct play. You can do it, and if it works out, great, wonderful, congratulations. But if you plan on it, you're going to be really, really sad every single time. So we're still going to find a way. At this point, I want Bearded Man to change his channel name. We'll see if it happens. Okay, let me get caught up on chat. Okay. Keon says, nothing cozier than an XL map. Tell you what, it's cozy. Am I sweating? Oh my gosh, am I sweating right now? There's a little bit of sweat going on here. And I don't think I really need to be that sweaty with this map. It's just like noting that we have issues with Red, who's impossibly tough at the moment. I just think that there's some issues I have to deal with. That's for sure. Let's see, it's day 2. We're going to skip one more day. We need full spell points. Hopefully Red goes through the whirlpool many times and just loses all their troops. But yeah, 12 attack, 16 defense, and you have Titans. Red's tough. And 11 spell power, 5 knowledge. Very tough to deal with. There comes a point where you kind of fall off as the sorceress is. Like, it's just not enough. What happened to my boat? That's my boat. Why can't I summon my boat? I'm not close enough? That makes sense. Didn't think I'd need to do this, but we're going to bring the dwarves on the road probably. How many phoenixes? 4? We don't have any mercury. Feels bad. Okay, but phoenixes. Anything else? A couple of the elves. And then we're going to get one more resupply from Troy Ann in just a moment or two, but we're going to do the summon boat. Hop on in. We're at full spell points. And we're going to have enough wood. We can actually hire somebody else to go pick up this alchemist lab. And we'll go try and deal with Ruby in just a second. Don't love this, but this is the way this goes. This is the way it goes. Okay. On to a new day. This has all been self-inflicted wounds. Have you noticed? We haven't even... We've come to contact once or twice with a big enemy hero. Only once or twice. And the rest of this has all just been attempts that led to a failure. And I don't know. Do I hate the choices? Clearly I do. I mean, early on we saw that fighting steel golems there, that was just a massive error. But occasionally it's been worthwhile or reasonable attempts. It was a worthwhile shot sort of a deal. There's been a couple of times where that's been the case. But still, not where I want it to be. Pack of red dragons, I will come back later. We've got other opportunities that we can get to. We should. We shall. Sirens, do we want to trade phoenixes for experience? That's big. Dragon City, I think that's a gem pouch right there. That's pretty big. let's still go up here and finish this off, and then we're probably going to go back here. If we can get any amount of dragons on a day-to-day basis, we're going to be in a good spot. Let's go back for that in just a moment or two. Okay. Good map, though. It's a beautiful map. It's well done. I really like, from this position, that we are tucked away a little bit in the corner. The fact that we haven't had to fight anybody is actually a really nice thing. I really enjoy that. And I don't know if every faction gets that same luxury. In fact, I'm guessing that they don't. But it's not bad map design if there's, again, differences between starting positions. We have to deal with all this other stuff, and we have to scratch out our advantage in this manner. Other factions, they have to probably fight a little bit more. They could probably steal enemies' castles just a little bit better. So I don't hate this. I really don't. All right, we're back. You are kidding me. No. I refuse. First off, steel skin here. We're going to kill as many of these rocks as we can. We're going to kill 6 of them. We're going to kill the rest this way. Down to 3. Down to 2, maybe 1. Down to 1 rock. Rock dies on the retaliation. The steel skin here is important because if we're going to use up our retaliations against these steel golems, we're going to want to... What? We're going to want to do as much damage as we can. Disrupting Ray would be really nice, actually, here. How much damage are these steel golems going to do? 4 to 5, let's just assume it's going to be like 160. I think I just bless the phoenixes and then resurrect true through the damage. We've already got the steel skin up. 17 defense. They're going to do so much reduced damage. I think that we just resurrect true our way through the damage. Let's kill 6. We lose 1 on the retaliation. Yeah, we're fine. No problems. In fact, I'm going to keep these other troops back. I don't want to... Let's see. How do I do this? Do I want to wait on the resurrect true? There's 228 HP here. In the previous instances, they've done 72 damage a couple of times. That might have been low end of damage. Let's assume that they're not going to do 168 points damage here. And no good morale. Perfect. That saves us a resurrect true. We're back up to 4. Okay, good, good. Just resurrect near the end. Hey, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. 13 HP. Kill 7. Okay, 41 and 10. It's just weird how that went from a loss, bearded man, into this kind of area. It was just kind of interesting how that worked. This is nice. We've got the +1 here for this Medal of Valor. We do have the luck. Luck paired with leadership. How do you defeat a barbarian hero with tons of stats? Good luck and good morale. That's how you got to do it, I think. I think so. All right, folks, and it took us a little longer than we would have liked, but we do have the castle, or rather the town of Ice Spell. Let's see how this goes. I mean, it's all right. It's not what I was hoping for. 27 boars, 10 rocks, 36 halflings, 18 of the steel golems. There is this... There's this right here. There's a tavern. There's a thieves guild. It can be upgraded to a castle, so that's worthwhile. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, not gonna lie. But that's okay. All right, on to these phoenixes here. One of the phoenixes wants to join for 3,000 gold. I say we do it. I say we do it. We're about to get more gold anyway. Yeah. Ice spell, they said. There's not a single ice spell in here. Darn. Well, these things do happen. These things do happen. There's I think it's World of Warcraft. I've never played World of Warcraft, but the Dalaran mages, I think that there's a voice line where they say, we have many secrets. And in reality, no, you really don't, Dalaran mage. You really don't. New month. Month of the Hornet. Is this Myra? That's Myra. I just want to make sure that there's not a red hero coming across the water to do me harm. Phineas. I can deal with Phineas. We're going to grab this gold mine real quick. Pick up this. Pick up that. Into the boat. And we're not too far away from being able to deal with this volcano and maybe what's over here. I think that our starting forces can actually deal with Phineas right now. We just don't want to have to do too much here. Is there anything we can land and grab? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe a few phoenixes could defeat the horde of swordsmen. I don't even want to try. I just want to use Troyan at this point. I just want to use her to try and find out where the enemies are at. I just need a Magellans Maps or something really nice. I need to do tons of scouting. Bearded Man says, luck and leadership is great, but it means Astra can't have archery. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're completely correct. I would like to have maybe traded the mysticism. Now that it's here, I'd probably trade the mysticism, but the rest of this is all really good. Even the navigation's not bad. On this map with water, I'll take it. I will definitely take it. But red is encroaching into my lands much more than I would prefer. Another dragon city. Folks, maybe we just win this map through the power of dragon cities and friendship. I don't think I can actually take this dragon city. Yeah, I can. With Resurrect True, anything is possible. And I don't want to wait if I can help it. Guarded by some Cyclopes, a pack. Heck, maybe even the Cyclopes will want to join me. I'm guessing Phineas is going to summon boat and then move on over. Let's let him do that in just a second. Did we lose our sawmill? No, we've got it. I'll wait one more day before I pick up a new castle there. Nobody's ever really seen this little ice spell town, and so I feel okay by waiting on that. I don't think that by upgrading it, I'm going to cause myself any issues. I think that this purple hero is coming for me right now. I think that they just got into the boat to try and stop me. So let's have Troyan hug the coast. It looks like this area is only accessible by a dimension door, perhaps by like a stone lith. Likely anyway. Let's do a little bit of exploring before we land. Unicorns, not too much there. Free boat. Okay, and we're gonna land. Oh, you stop that. Once again, we're gonna do the steel skin. I'm gonna wait though. I'm gonna try and let these enemies line up in a way that I can get a double hexa attack off. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna put the dwarves here so that if somebody wants to attack me, they have to go the long way. Sprites are just gonna wait. And bless. Here. Max damage. Pretty good, pretty good. We're down to 4 phoenixes, but that's to be expected. I'm just gonna keep the dwarves out of this. They don't need to be involved. 3, 3, 3, 4. Let's see how many's left after this. There's gonna be one of these gentlemen left. Might as well do the Resurrect True now. Save yourself the Phoenix, because this one Cyclops isn't gonna kill you. There we go. There's the luck. Luck is good. Max damage, always a pleasure. See what Phineas does here in just a moment. Oh, and let's see what this green player does. Somebody summoned away that boat. Aha! All right. Well, red wants a piece of me, but I do have plenty of gold. I've got 13k gold. And Phineas does look kind of tough, but I've got at least the basic wisdom. So I'll have up to this level of spells. I'd really like a little bit more. Probably should have invested in Natasha. I think that she did pick up the 2 gazebos that are nearby. This one and this one. Yeah, she did pick up both of those. So she's better than she could be, but still. Wish there was some changes there. Let's purchase everybody we can. It's not nearly as many as we wish. Like so. Keep the 1 druid in reserve. All right, Bearded Man, I'm talking to you. Bearded Man, I feel like I'm not underestimating my enemy. I don't feel like I'm underestimating my enemy, but I could be. You've mentioned that I've had a really bad day with underestimating my opponents. Will the trend continue? That's the question. I'm going to assume that the answer is no. I'm going to assume that I can beat this guy. Let's see if there's anything in the chat there. They're trying to siege. Wonder how this goes. There you go. If they want to siege, great. But here's the deal. I don't want them to scout me out any more than they already have. Because again, red is the big player. If they know I'm here and they start sending boats to my main castle, I'm going to feel really bad. Yeah, no, you've got this. You've got walls and things. Just get a moat too. I don't want to defend though. I don't want him to go steal my crystal. I don't want him to steal my gems and things like that. If I lose this fight, I look like an idiot. But it's like 1 to 3 giants. It's 1 to 3 of the rocks. It's maybe 20 to 50 of the goblins. It's like 50 to 100 of the halflings. We've got spells. I think we fight. I think we win. And then we don't have to worry about him taking all my stuff and taking it back. Nice to see it's only 1 giant. I was not sure how big of a deal that was going to be or not, but nice to see that we've got some options there. These halflings are going to go last. I'm going to let the giants, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's possible that they're not even going to get to me. Let's just do the steel skin here. Kill halflings. We'll retaliate to the boars, but we're not going to kill the full stack. We kill 8. Let's start pumping damage onto these giants here. I don't know if the rocks are going to move out of the way. They might. They didn't though. 37 of the halflings with 15 sprites. We kill 5. This would be a good time for that AoE damage from the meteor shower. We just don't have it. I could bloodlust the phoenixes. I think I'm kind of committing to losing 1 phoenix at this point. Unless I do just tons of damage. Let's just hope we do tons of damage. We're gonna kill all the boars. Maybe we kill the giant here. 30 HP. We'll take out the 6 attack, 3 defense. So 16 defense versus 9 attack skill. Goblins are going to do reduced damage, but there's still a lot of them. 20 to 30 damage with the 19 attack. Will the 4 fire elementals be able to do 30 points of damage? I don't trust it, but I do trust that the fire elementals are going to do plenty of damage to these creatures right here. Although the halflings still are yet to go. Oh, that's fine. Oh yeah, I'd rather lose this guy or this guy than a phoenix. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we're going to do the dispel here. 19 points of damage. Perfect. 2 fire elementals. I don't think that they can kill the full stack. At this point, I just want them to leave me alone. So we're not going to prevent our enemy from running, but we are going to get them to run away. 4, 3, and 15, not too bad. I'm okay with that. I just wanted to be left alone. And there's a new boat, which is good. Boats are good. Archery skill on Natasha. I know that she's only level 4 compared to my primary hero of Astra, who's level 11, but she's got archery, so she's officially my main hero now. Just kidding. By the way, just in case you're wondering, so Astra, level 11. She's got the 2 attack, 3 defense, 5 spell power, 12 knowledge. I'd love to see more attack. More defense is probably the best. And then I'd like to see her be able to use the luck and the leadership in a good way. Nice spells. Let's try and get her to survive as long as she can, but also give me some good advantages out on the high seas. There is this whirlpool down here. I'm going to go to the corner of the map, just make sure that there's nothing nifty over there. Oh, there is something nifty over here. Looks like... nothing I'm going to grab anytime soon. But I feel bad because I'm so close to this whirlpool. I'm really in a kind of a weird spot there. Okay. Gold is useful still. Still need the gold. Through a clearing, we observe an ancient artifact. Unfortunately, it's guarded by a nearby green dragon. Do you want to fight the green dragon for the artifact? I do. 2 dwarves goes down. We'll take the +1 gems per day. It's really lovely. We'll take that. And then Dragon City, I don't know. We're not going to have enough gold to purchase these guys today, so it's okay that we're mostly out of movement points. If we have to trade, we will. We'll see. And then Roman says, resurrecting phoenixes, mythologically approved. What a good comment. I love that. Mythologically approved. We stand before a dragon city, a place off limits to mere humans. Do you wish to violate this rule and challenge the dragons to a fight? Buddy, that's why I'm here. I'm challenging every single one of you. I don't want to hear it. Oh, Fix Fox, you're going to lose the giant to dragons? No. I hope. All right. First order of business. Nothing else matters. Steel skin the phoenixes. Try and keep them alive. We're going to have the black dragons go kill the red dragons. Oh, the good morale. That's nice. Did we kill this full stack then? Just about. Almost. Okay, the retaliation's good. And then might as well do damage where you can. I want the dragons to really just crowd around these phoenixes. I don't want to have to lose anybody else, and I don't want to have to resurrect anybody else. What if I... let's see. There's no retaliation, so it doesn't matter what I do here. It looks like this one dragon's going to be... yeah, it's going to go in that direction. That's fine. So we got 4 phoenixes left. A little bit of defense goes a long, long way. I think I'm going to do the bless just to make sure that we get out of this fight a little bit easier. I'm going to kill the... let's see. We're going to kill this way. And then maybe the red dragon, we're going to kill them on the retaliation. Skip on everybody else. No, 26 HP left. Close. Sprites should finish them off. They do not. Wild. Huh. I'm vastly overestimating the value of my forces here, I suppose. 3 phoenixes. I'm going to wait one more turn for the Resurrect True, because Resurrect True is doing 250 HP. Basically, it's going to do 2 phoenixes and then some. We started with 5. Actually, we're at the threshold where it makes sense. In fact, we might have only 90 HP on this top stack. Yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. All right, and so I feel like... I mean, 8 HP, 11 HP. I'm going to work on this big dragon right here. I'm going to work on this big dragon right here. I'm going to kill this big dragon right here. I'm going to kill this big dragon right here. Bro, what just happened? 4 instances of good morale that killed 1 dragon each. That's pretty suspect with how good that is. Hashtag fix Fox luck. Okay, having defeated the dragon champions, the city's leaders agree to supply some dragons to your army for a price. Do you wish to recruit the dragons? I do. Let's see if we can. We are short on the gold. We knew that before. Are we able to get into the boat? We're not going to be able to get enough. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get enough gold here today. Let's just wait one more day. We'll pick up enough gold tomorrow, and then we'll set sail. Here's the question, though. Does Natasha hit the water? Natasha has proven herself to be a good defender of the realm, and I think we're going to eat more attention in just a little bit. I think we're going to continually get more people. I think we're going to continue to get more individuals that want to come and fight us. So I think I'm going to actually leave Natasha here. Even though there's a free boat, I think I'm going to have her stay. Although she's going to go get this alchemist lab in just a little bit. So we're waiting here, waiting there. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I don't know who Arie thinks he is, but he is... he is gonna struggle just a little bit. Christina Diamonds, hip hip victory. I like that way better. Yeah, hip hip victory. One of those game-changing moments. That feels like a good moment. That's a really big moment. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the good vibes. I mean, we could still do this. We are struggling mightily, but I still think we can do this. It's just going to take a little bit of Fix Fox luck. And just other good luck in general. All right, we're going to pick up 1 dragon here. We're about 1,000 gold away. I think we can actually get it from this demon cave. We never picked up this demon cave. Don't ask me why. Today, do you want to fight the servants? Yes, I do. 2,500 gold. That should be enough. So with 2 dragons and the phoenixes, we're going to fight Arie, and then we're going to be on our way. Oh no, we lose. Arie might actually be tough because he might have some good spells here. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see. Arie just doing Arie things. I agree with that. Christina Diamonds, totally. 2 attack, 3 defense, 14 spell power. Woof. You have a wizard town and dragons. Armageddon or Elemental Storm could be massive. Such a good point. Oh, Elemental Storm with the phoenixes and the dragons, because then you get a power stack of your big phoenixes. You also get the dragons, magic immune and immune to the elemental spells. Bearded man, you're right. There's a library in our potentially to our town to the north with the wizards. I think that's a great idea. I think that that's worth our time to go for that. Let's plan on doing that as quickly as we can. Let's also worry about Arie the Warlock. Now he can't lightning bolt us. He cannot cold ray us. He can't cold ring us. There's no implosion. What spell could he drop on the phoenixes to kill 1 full stack of phoenixes? I don't really know. So I'm going to steel skin the phoenixes to try and keep them alive. I'm going to try and prevent the damage from these war trolls. We can kill 4 to 8, or we can try and kill 1 to 3 of these cyclopes. I'm going to go for the cyclopes. Yeah, I'm going to go for the cyclopes. I'm going to hope that I can keep this big stack alive. We killed 1. Blind on the Phoenixes. Don't love that. Take your good morale, you silly person. And then, yeah, I just want the Phoenixes to stay alive so I can resurrect them. I got 3 resurrects. I got 3 resurrects total. So the dragons, I actually don't want to lose a dragon because you can't resurrect a dragon. Can't be done. Dragons are going to go, and then the Ogre Lords are going to go after. Let's start working on these Ogre Lords here. And let's kill here. 1 to 3. We kill 2. 50 points of damage, 200 HP remaining there. Oh, and the Ogre Lords step up. Well, that's great. That's great, because I'm going to get to go first, and then I'm going to get to resurrect the full stack, and they're going to keep the steel skin. That's awesome. That's wonderful. Good. Surprisingly, I need to get rid of these wolves, because if I can get a double hex attack off here, I'm in a good spot. Sprites are going to stay here. Maybe the orcs drop them. They do. Okay, so we go from 1 Phoenix up to 3 with 95 HP on the top. We should for sure kill 2 of these Cyclopes here. Not even worrying about the War Trolls just yet. There's a blind, a little bit of damage. We're going to lose... We're going to lose the Phoenix stack here. There's just too much damage. Somebody's got to deal with the Orc Chiefs. The Cyclopes are really their biggest army, though. I've got 2 more Resurrects. Tell you what I think I do. I think I only do 1 more Resurrect on the Phoenixes. No, it's 250. It's 250. It's way too much. I just don't want to double hex attack myself. If I attack the War Trolls here, I'm still getting good damage off, and I'm close to myself. But then I... Whoops. You can't do that, mate. Can't park there. Okay, but now the dragons are just down to 1. Okay. I considered waiting and not doing all my Resurrect Truths. I don't think that there's any point in waiting anymore. I do feel obligated to move these Phoenixes to somewhere else. How much damage did these Orc Chieftains do? 28. They're not doing enough for me to worry about. Let's kill 1 to 2 of these Cyclopes. The blind is actually rough. Wolves are finally down, though. That's good. Somebody's got to deal with these guys. 193 HP there. War Trolls have already taken their turn. Let's just get the double damage where we can. And worth noting that the Phoenix are actually blinded still, so they're not really doing what I want them to do. Battle Dwarves, let's just have them step to here. All right. I mean, like, that's super cool. I get it. I get it. And I don't know. 94 HP steps up to here. War Trolls are about to do full damage. I think that the Resurrect True is too good. I think you definitely cast that. I'm just going to lose these other 2 troops before the Phoenixes get to go, and the Ogre Lords are going to be stepped up in front of the War Trolls. It's just not good. It's just really not good. Where do you attack? Attack the dragon? I agree with that choice. I can pretty much guarantee I kill one of these Cyclopes. Probably not going to kill a War Troll, but we already knew that. And then the Ogre Lords step up. We take the damage from the Orc Chieftains. The blind is gone. Okay, so this is actually good. I kind of want to die to the... That's great. I do want to die to these Cyclopes there, because then I get attacked, the blind is gone, and then I get my double hex attack off. And rather than kill the War Trolls, there's 6 of them, I think you just want the damage, try and kill both of their big stacks, the 9 Ogre Lords and the 4 Cyclopes. So somehow we have 20 HP on this top stack. We're going to lose at least 2 Phoenixes, I think. But I do think we're going to get out of this fight. I think we're going to survive this fight. 4 and 2. Yet again, I think we do it like that. Okay, and now I think that we want to try and kill here. I don't want to eat a Paralyze. There's a Bless. The slow is actually really annoying because it's going to take us a while to get down. 8 HP. Oh my gosh. You're out of spell points. There's 60 HP left here. I can't kill one full war troll. Bearded man, I did it again. Oh my gosh. I did it again. I did it again. Dude, the AI is killing me today. I am getting smoked. This feels good. Folks, this feels okay. This doesn't feel bad. Wow, this feels okay. This feels okay. Even though we're getting smoked, this just means that the AI is actually doing good and giving me a run for my money. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I made the decision a couple of times to attack Ogre Lords and Cyclopes instead of attacking the War Trolls. You got to attack the War Trolls early on before their rejuvenation can take effect. Because if you don't kill 40 HP worth of War Troll at a time, then they just heal up to full. The curse got me. Just the sheer amount, I mean, that was 80 times 10. That was 800 hit points worth of Cyclopes. That was well over 800 hit points worth of Ogre Lords. We cast Resurrect True 4 times for an additional 1000 HP there. That was 500 HP. We started off with the Phoenixes. An extra 500 HP worth of Red Dragon. So, like, pound for pound, hit points wise, the damage was about where it was supposed to be. He did have 14 spell power, but he couldn't use that on the Phoenixes. He couldn't use it on the Dragons. But we saw the issues with the spells. Tell you what, one of the biggest issues was when I put the Red Dragon here and the Phoenixes were there, because then the Cyclopes got that big, meaty hit off. There were 7 of them, I think, and they got the double hex attack off. You can't do a double hex amount of damage there. You have to avoid that. That was clearly just the worst positioning in the world. Like, you put that on a silver platter for the enemy, and that might have actually been the difference. That might have been the difference. Huh. Wow. Okay. Well, I've asked several times today, what have we learned? I'm learning a lot today. And you can look at that as a good thing, or you can look at that as a bad thing. I choose to look at that as a good thing. I do. I choose to look at that as a good thing. You are insane, Arie. You are the craziest guy I've ever seen in my life. You are wild. You're a wild person. And I can't hire my hero back because I don't have enough gold. There she is. There's Jezebel. She's got several Bone Dragons, several Titans. We have 2 attack skill, 3 defense. Our main damaging spells are doing 125 points of damage at a time. We will never be able to beat Jezebel. Several Titans, even if that's 6 Titans, that's going to be 1,800 hit points worth of Titan that we have to chew through. And that doesn't account for her spells. That doesn't account for her stuff. There's nothing we can do about Jezebel. She knows where we're at because Red has scouted us out plenty of times. This is not good. This is not good. Roman says, after playing H3, I'm always forgetting that red dragons are immune to all magic, not only 1 through 4th level spells. Ah, good point. Very true. Very true. But yeah, dragons, Armageddon, the power combo of the childhood. Absolutely. Critically good. Blinding and attacking right after. The AI is playing as though it's in Heroes 2 Gold. It did make some critical mistakes there. I guess that it got the opportunity to I mean, I guess it took advantage of only being able to eat half my retaliation. Blind cuts that retaliation in half, but you're totally right. What they should have done was just blind the phoenixes and then leave them, and then focus on the dragons. I agree with you there, for sure. Christina says, to be fair, Fix, the opponents are really tough today, even Arie. Yeah, no, it is what it is. It's fine. We're good. We're good. Everyone watching is learning so much from this. I have become a better player, Bearded Man says. Thank you. I'm glad that I could be on the altar. Whoa. Whoa, that's awesome. Showing everybody how not to do it at some points and how to do it at others. We're going to land here. I don't think I can get through this, but for a sorceress, this is a really cool little area of the map. I really enjoy this. This just feels like a good map maker sort of thing. Plus the artifact for the resurrect being doubled. I mean, okay, so we got to move over all these troops. Like, we just have to, right? We need to wait overnight because we're, once again, out of spell points. Who could have predicted that? And we're going to leave tomorrow with whatever else we can get. I guess I could go this way. Let's see. Will I have enough movement points to get from here to there and then summon a boat here? Actually, might be able to. But yeah, I want to take this gold mine. I'll leave this because this is still a little bit too big for me. I'm going to risk this. I'm going to hope that I've got enough to go here. Here. Yeah, summon the boat. And go. So this way I get into the boat one day sooner. Just because of the way the spell points work out. And then, depending on speed here, I may be able to get one more resupply going before we have to leave again. Interesting. What a weird scenario. Okay. Thanks. What was that? Jezebel has just slapped me in the face by saying, yeah, I could take Ice Spell if I wanted to, and they've decided not to. I appreciate it, but I don't think I deserve that kindness. I really don't. Oh, hold on. We got Treyanne over here. Let's just go trade real quick. We know we need to trade for Mercury anyway. Let's just trade 2 units there, 1 unit there, a couple units there. That'll be at least 1 Phoenix, and then what do we want? Dwarves? This is gonna sound crazy. We're about to get a huge stack of dwarves. Sprites are really cost effective. Let's do that. And then we're gonna move everybody on over. We'll keep the morale as good as possible. Just do it like this. Positioning there doesn't really matter because they're the only 4-speed creatures there. And so then we're just gonna go and land because 1,000 gold per day is too good to pass up. Because money can be exchanged for goods and services. Yeah, Jezebel just goes away. So she found a better, more important point of emphasis. That's a little surprising. Whoever this red player is, though, they just cost themselves something fierce. And it is Week of the Condor. You dirty dog. I'm going to hire all the troops here. I can't hire a hero because I traded all my stuff for other stuff, but I'm going to hire at least whatever I can in just a moment or two. First off, let's kill sprites. Gold. Fight this fight to get out of the gold issue, but then we'll be in a better spot. Yeah. At this point, I just can't let Arie do what they want to do. If for no other reason than I feel obligated. Absolutely obligated to not let them get away with murder twice. I don't want to put the unicorns in danger. 4, 5. Just gonna go back to here. I'm going to put the one sprite here. That's actually going to prevent this guy from running in the direction he wants to. I'm going to do the steel skin here. Phoenixes are going to do the best they can with what they have. Well, I suppose you could always do that. And then this is actually too good of a moment to pass up, folks. How often do you see a 4-player meteor shower? It was only 125 points of damage times 4. But it ended up being pretty effective, if I do say so myself. We're going to kill maybe 2 stacks, 1 and change, not too bad. And then focus on the rest of these swordsmen there. Unicorns solve that problem. I'm okay to spend the resurrection if I need to in just a moment or two. Let's skip. Yeah, we'll keep the one Phoenix alive in just a moment. I could back off. Save the spell points. You've got the spell points for a reason. You have the spell points so you can use the spell points. That's kind of nice. Yeah, you have the spell points so you can use the spell points. 25 HP from the cure. That's not going to be good enough. Yeah, we'll just plan on doing the one resurrection. Unless the swordsmen attack the unicorns. I don't get it, but then again, I guess I don't have to. Whatever. One unicorn, one sprite, 1900 experience. We're going to take the pathfinding here. We're going to get the gold mine back into the boat. And then lest we forget, this was also that we could purchase some additional troops over here. Let's get the halflings first for the range damage. And then what's going to be best? Rocks. Totally get the rocks. In fact, it should have been all rocks. Should have been. Do we have a captain's quarters here? I don't think so. Yeah, no captain's quarters there. Well, there's a shrine of the third circle, but I think that the experience of walking around and seeing what's around here is better than anything. Let's actually cast View Towns real quick. We're not actually heading into any town or castle. It's possible that Troyan can just keep going for a while. Let's let her do that. Let's see what Arie does. Good choice, Arie. Good choice. Jezebel's back. Maybe. Myra. Okay. It's possible that there's a little spot to land right there. I'm gonna check it out. I don't know if it's reasonable for me to believe that or not. Oh? No, it's not. It's got to be a lith in there. But I see this as an opportunity to do some serious resupply. A big stack of dwarves, hard to kill. Stone liths, that we found something. Basically, Eagle Eye, everybody's favorite secondary skill. Free boat, let's see if we can go through the sign. And maybe with this big resupply of like, this is gonna be hundreds of dwarves, plus the Ankh, that might actually change our fortunes. It feels bad that that's the thing we feel like we need to do, but that's what we're gonna do. We do still need to pick up this alchemist lab. Let's go land and get that in just a second. Jezebel isn't back. She isn't a wizard, if I recall. She's not. You're right. That was my mistake. She's a barbarian. What you're pointing out is something that maybe people is obvious to them and maybe it's not, but wizard heroes look different from warlock heroes and sorceress heroes on the adventure map. They just look different. So at a glance, you can kind of tell without truly looking, you can kind of tell what somebody is. And so, yeah, it's a really important point, I think. We're gonna split like this. We're gonna do 2 stacks. We're just gonna do 2 stacks like this. 6 and 6 and 52 because the power liches. I think I got a big enough army here that I think these folks are gonna want to leave me alone. I lied. Okay, but who do the power liches attack? Halflings? That makes sense to me. And you're gonna get surrounded by your 5-speed troops? That makes sense to me. Can I kill one of your royal mummies? That makes sense to me. Okay. Folks, sometimes you gotta look out for your own mental health. This is a business decision. That's really bumming me out to see the blinds absolutely tear my army to shreds. And it really bums me. It bums me out to see them immediately upgrade the castle, and it bums me out to know that I just spent all that gold when I didn't really need the troops and they were going to die immediately. I find in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 it makes a lot more sense to hire troops away from the enemy so that they can't use them. It makes a lot less sense in Heroes 2. I don't know how exactly that works. I can't tell you what the difference is, but it's something I've just noticed. It's just one of those kind of feels, like it feels different on the map to me. Now I could be wrong, but Whoa, no, I could be wrong, but it's just my opinion on the matter. I'd like to see some data on whether or not it's true. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, but I'd like to see some data. Warning, the lists are guarded on both ends. I don't know how you gather data to determine whether or not it's more cost effective to hire troops away from the enemy or not. In Heroes 3, I make that claim because in Heroes 3, it feels like in many instances that lower level troops are more valuable comparatively because there she is, run. They just feel more valuable comparatively. Here it feels less so. There's artifacts still littered all over the map. Can't get to them. Maybe Jezebel can't reach us. I'm guessing she can. Still we sail. But in Heroes 2 it feels much more useless to do so. It's month 3 and we've only got one castle. Things are not going great. We just lost Natasha? No, what? Maybe I can get Jezebel to leave Natasha, or rather my castle, alone. Again though, they've seen my castle, so they know it's there. If they want it, they're gonna take it and I can't stop them. If I land here though, I can potentially evac these troops. There's a bunch of troops. Only 7,000 gold though. If I land here, then I can evac the troops. I'm still gonna get caught, but then I'm not just handing over all these free troops to Jezebel. And maybe she'll go in a different direction. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Win Harmonic. Welcome, Win Harmonic. Welcome to the chat. Pleasure to have you here. You're saying only if he can get an army over there in a week or two. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's definitely true. And tough to say. I have no idea. The wheels have officially fallen off of this map. You know things are bad when my hope is that dwarves want to join me. Like when that's my goal at this point. Oh, it's pretty ugly. We should win these fights, but Throngs, a swarm. I mean, I've only got 7 greater druids. It's really going to come down to spell damage and phoenixes, and using spell damage to defeat battle dwarves. It's not my favorite thing. Let's go pick up the Xanadu before we come and fight this whole area. It's not gonna be good. A swarm, 250 plus dwarves. That's so many. So many. Okay, green player's been vanquished. Hey, that's something. Fix Fox, what do you mean? Well, if green player's been vanquished, then that means that we finish 4th. I think Ruby wants to attack me. And I think that she's probably going to be able to do so. We've got full morale. We don't need this temple. Shrine of the Third Circle. Is there a 3rd level spell out there that could save us? Cold Ring? That's not it. I think she's about to attack me. I think that we're about to lose the scenario. I think we're going to make one final stand here. I think we're going to die very quickly. I think Troyan is going to wander in the swamp until she abandons the cause. And I think that this is probably where the end is, because I think that Ruby is too tough. We have no castle with which to retreat. Maybe there's a castle up here. Closest one's over here. It's day 7. Let's see if we can get there. Troyan still wandering. Hanging out. At this point, Crusaders and champions, I mean, they're worse than Phoenixes, but not by much. I know, 6 days. I get it. Hut of the Magi. We entered a rickety hut. And a magician tells us a place is near and far, which will aid us in our journey. Aha! So there's Dragon Rock, Dragon City, Arena. There's an awful lot of stuff here. You just got to get through these liths. We have not seen those liths just yet, though. So we'll have to wait and see about this. And this is going to be the final fight, potentially, folks. if Atlantium is not kind to us, if we're not able to take Atlantium, then we're going to have to call it a day. The fact that Kalindra got into a boat and tried to run away, I think that tells me everything I need to know. Let's see about this fight, though. The enemy surrendered. We're gonna live for another day. Blenzior 2317. If you can get there day one, it's still fine. Not the best castle trade, but maybe you're gonna survive. I feel like I can at least survive. Like Fixfox is okay at surviving. There's a lot of things I'm not good at, but surviving, I'm okay at that. I'm okay at that. 3 attack, 1 defense, 4 spell power, 5 knowledge, great morale, Irish luck for Zom the Necromancer. There's 104 peasants, there's 10 of the rangers, there's these crusaders. Gotta kill the crusaders first, no doubt about that. Let's do the sealskin, because I think that we've seen that that's fairly effective with the Resurrect True. We killed 2 crusaders there, and they blind the phoenixes. Bearded man, like you're saying, not the best choice. They wanted to surrender, which is kind of interesting. I want to keep them from surrendering if I can. Let's see if we can kill full stacks. Even with good luck, we couldn't kill all the peasants. Really, the archery would have been nice. Would have been nice. I don't want the unicorns to get into the water just yet. I'm going to sit right here. Can the phoenixes do this fight solo? Maybe they can and maybe they can't, but with these fortifications, it's going to take forever for me to get into this fight. Let's use the sprites to great effect. They're going to kill how many of these rangers? They kill 9 of them. Good. Very good. And then we're going to wait on any spells for just another moment or two. Almost killed 1 full crusader. Not quite. Is it going to be another blind onto the phoenixes? It is. And 38 HP here. Let's kill there. There's 1 peasant left. That is... Oof. I'm distraught. Okay. Let's see. The unicorn or the phoenixes are actually, hold on, 18 hit points, 46 HP. How much is this cold ray going to do? 60 points. Tell you what, if I can kill these swordsmen and this 1 sprite, or this, yeah, let me kill the. I can just do a cold ray here, and I can kill everybody right now. So let's actually use the sprites to kill this 1 single stack. Stabby, stabby. Ah, but you do want the resurrection. You gotta do the resurrection. Let me kill 1 full stack here, maybe. Close. Blind. Step up. That's 1 cold ray right there. Unless the champions do something else. That's 1 stack there. Retaliation, good, good. And then unless the rangers, unless they run right now, we've got them. Sickening. But we didn't lose a phoenix, which is important. Okay, well, that cost them 380 gold. We didn't get any artifacts. That feels pretty bad. Do we kill Kalindra? I think we do. We just don't want it to cost us anything like that. Okay, perfect. And folks, we're alive. We did it. We did it. We're not dead. And not dead is a much better place to be than the alternative. So, Fixfox truly arose from the ashes. Hey, I'm still standing. I feel like we need Elton John playing the music in the background. Don't you know? I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor. Feeling like a little kid. Tell you what, Elton John is one of those musical artists that he's not somebody I listen to on the regular, but I really appreciate Elton John for who he is and what he does. Truly, I really appreciate Elton John for who he is and what he does. 33 sprites, 2 of the unicorns. That was ugly, but what else can I expect? And folks, oh, there's actually some troops here. There's some troops here because it's day 1, and let's explore our new continent. At this point, we're using it. At this point, we're using Town Portal, and I don't want to hear I don't want to hear it from anybody. Fixfox your rules. Hey, at this point, if I can pull off a win by any means necessary, this will be an absolute triumph of a scenario. True or false? I think we all agree that if we are able to pull this off, this is going to be an absolute triumph. And so we're going to do nothing but enjoy all the spells we possibly can. And I'm going to give the volcanic terrain to Jezebel with my compliments. Let's hope that there's not another hero just here about to attack us. Let's stay in, pick up another 40 spell points, and let's go on to another day. Let's see, Blenzior 2317, does Meteor Shower affect Phoenixes? Always forget, I guess yes. Actually, it does not. So Chain Lightning, Meteor Shower, Cold Ray, Cold Ring, those spells, they do not affect the Phoenixes. So it's really pretty nice. It's really a big deal to be able to have that spell and have it effectively work so very well for us, because we can get a surround on the Phoenixes. Enemies can surround the Phoenix, and then you can Cold Ring or Meteor Shower, and you're going to do tons of damage to everybody else and not yourself. If you can get them to surround you. We'll see. We'll see. And then, yes, you start every turn as human, thus day 1 to claim castle is as good as day 7 to get the growth. You're totally correct. Totally correct. So, we're in a good spot. I didn't realize I made it there on day 1. I wasn't sure exactly where I was. Let's pick up the observation tower. In the next day or two, we're going to pick up another hero to grab sawmills and things like that. Let's get this Tree of Knowledge. Let's not get this Tree of Knowledge. There's no way that the graveyard is available to us. There's just no way. But we still want the Xanadu. I still would not mind these dwarves. I would like a hill fort, so I could upgrade dwarves into battle dwarves. That would be pretty nice. Look at this long, unbroken chain of mountains to get to here. There's like a gauntlet here you've got to go through. That's pretty interesting. We're in a better spot than it looks like. Not by much, but a little bit. There are a few gold mines out there that we currently possess. That's kind of helpful. We're going to hope that those will stay in our control for as long as possible. I say a couple, it's actually just one. Troyan's going to need to do the meteor shower here and sprint away. I want her to stay alive because she's the hero I want to rehire. She's got the meteor shower, whereas other heroes don't necessarily, so it's good for her to stick around. 1000 XP, let's get the diplomacy. Big for these dwarves. Do we want to leave some troops so we have some space open for dwarves to join us? I actually think so. 2,500 gold, let's trade just a tiny bit. Here. And here. Yeah, and let's see if we can get these dwarves to join us in any amount. If they want to pay to join us, it's not going to work out well for us, but otherwise it should be fine. 4 dwarves. I'm actually going to move these troops back. That was a misplay on my part. There's no purchases to make in this castle. Dimension door is on the table, in case we didn't already know it. There's one purple hero, one purple knight on this continent we're going to have to deal with. But we have a Xanadu. We have tons of dwarves available to us if we can defeat them. There's 2. There's one here and there's one here. All right, I'm still going to send Astra to the south. If I need to reclaim this castle, I will. Troyan's going to do her best to play keeper and prevent any major losses. As far as troops, if we need to rehire troops and things like that. Okay, we've left ourselves space open. We're going to see if we can make something nifty happen there. Red is realizing that we never really had much on our side. The nice thing is that anywhere we go, if we're able to steal some castles, we can do some nice stuff. I really need artifacts for attack and defense, though. That's maybe the most important thing. Xanadu is not too far away. Let me grab that. Here. And here. And Christina Diamond says, I'm Still Standing was yesterday's favorite song of my friends and me. We went to a climbing parkour. It's in the woods, and there were some pretty hard obstacles, so this was the song of the day. Yeah, anytime you can survive those really rough obstacles, so long as you're still standing, you're doing pretty good. So I'm here for it. I'm glad that you're doing so good. Ector the Knight, he's a good hero. We're going to hire him. How good of a hero is he? Level 8 with spells? Summon Boat. Summon Boat instantly makes him valuable. Let's evac here and here. And Swordsman. Run, my pretties. Go, go, go. And he's actually been here before. He's already visited that gazebo, which is kind of interesting. He's going to go pick up this gem mine. We're going to try and get the troops as far south as possible. Astra's going to go grab this Xanadu. The butler admits you to see the master of the house. He trains you in the 4 skills a hero should know. But I think that if you see somebody at the gym, Christina, who doesn't have music, like they don't have earbuds or they're not listening to anything, that person is an absolute psycho. What you're mentioning is the fact that the music is uplifting and it gets you in the right mood for these really tough obstacles and objects. Like, it's a really good thing for you and you get pumped up. It's awesome. I agree with that. And I'm glad that you're pointing out how important the music kind of is. For the people that don't use music, I'm like, dude, you are on a mission to like fight somebody or something crazy. I don't know. Wackadoo. But it's nice when your pump-up song is also Elton John, because it's kind of like a hint of class. I think everybody likes Elton John. I think that they do. We've got to get this castle back at some point. I don't want to lose a lot of forces. Can we defeat these dwarves? That's really the question. If we can't defeat the dwarves, then we need to go here first. If we can defeat the dwarves... if we can defeat the dwarves, then that changes everything. We've boxed ourselves in. They're going to get a full extra week's worth of growth. We can't stop that. If we are able to get to these dwarven cottages, or we get some of these droops to join us, then we'll be able to come back with tons of extra forces. I don't think that there's any chance that dwarves want to join. I think that there's no chance. We are not a good enough hero. And then if we lose forces, then... I mean, it's 250 dwarves. That's 5,000 hit points. And you can't cast spells on them. We had Town Portal, we didn't use it. I didn't even think about that. Okay, we're going to go up to this way. We're going to go up, defeat Ruby. She's going to have an additional week's worth of growth, but there's nothing we can do about it. We've just got to beat her. And once we do, we're going to be in a better spot. My only thoughts on these people in the gym is that they forgot to bring their headphones. There's no other way. There's no other way. What a good way of looking at it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to assume the best in you, my dear friend, that somehow you simply left your music at home, but you are so dedicated to your craft that you decided to work out anyway. Kudos to you. Yeah, I'm going to assume that that's the case for everybody too. I'm going to hop in the boat. 15 sprites, sure, why not? There's still something to be explored over here. Maybe we find something really useful. It's going to be one more full day before we get here. Our extra gold mine is now gone. Jezebel is a monster. Okay. We have to win this fight. There's nothing for it. But this is Purple's main hero, so if Ruby tries to run or surrender, we're going to be in a really bad spot. Ruby the Knight, 3 attack, 9 defense, 1 spell power, 1 knowledge, blood morale, normal luck, with no spell power and no knowledge. This is a fight that I actually kind of enjoy. I kind of enjoy this. We're going to take some damage from the turrets. That's to be expected. But I think that we're just going to chain lightning these folks to death. And we're going to start off with these rangers. Full damage there. And then whatever damage you want to do to me, that's fine. Do your damage. I'm not scared. I will resurrect at the end, and I'll be standing. I'll keep standing. I'm still standing. I feel like I need to be careful. Just because I like to sing doesn't mean people like to hear the sound of my voice. A little bit of self-awareness there couldn't hurt. Be like, oh, Fix Fox, I really appreciate that you're enjoying yourself here, but please stop. Maybe I'll stop, maybe I won't. Who knows? We'll see. We're going to do chain lightning from the top to the bottom now this time. The enemy is skipping. I'm skipping. I don't think I want to attack just yet. I think I want to wait one more time. Yeah, I think I want to wait one more time. I'll try and kill these troops where I can, but I want to make sure I get the full value out of my resurrect on the phoenixes. Yeah, that's actually a healthy bit of phoenixes. It's going to save us. So let's do it like this. Let's do our resurrect true. Back up to 4 phoenixes. Our power stack, as it were. We can kill 2 to 5. It's more likely that we're able to kill the 4 to 5 here. Let's see how this goes. 30, 60, 150, 160 HP. Oh, we don't have any spells. I just don't want her to run. That's the one thing. I'm going to skip one more time. That better not be the difference between her running and not. It's not. Perfect. Okay, wait, did we lose a... How much damage is this thing doing? Jeez. Left turret, right turret? This is dumb. But I'm gonna do this one more time. Skip, 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 skip. Oh my gosh, it's exactly like the right amount of damage. 57, 28, 24. You're gonna lose a Phoenix. You can't help it. You cannot stop it. Oh, that's just a dirty trick. I hate that so much. Hate that so much. All right, get out of my sight. 1 Phoenix, 1 Crusader, 2800 experience. The enemy does not run. Holy Pendant is all you have? Purple player, what have you been doing this entire time? Folks, we are now in the 3rd player position. This is not good. But we've made it to 3rd, and that's better than we were at before. So, happy to be there. All right. Bearded Man says, I have never seen why Town Gate and Town Portal are so highly regarded. Guess I will witness that today. I mean, if I only got one of these castles, then maybe you won't get to see it today. But you need at least 2 castles for it to be really effective. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe I can do something nifty. Folks, this is huge. Magellans Maps. This is actually a big deal because I don't know how much water there is left on the map, but I'm guessing that this is going to be worth every penny of the 1,000 gold. I have never been so excited for an adventure map object as I am right now. That might be the most exciting adventure map object I've ever seen in my life. That might be hyperbole, but we're not going to know until it's too late. Either way. Jezebel is wasting her time. Good, good. Keep doing that. A retired captain living on this refurbished fishing platform offers to sell you maps of the sea he made in his younger days for 1,000 gold. Do you wish to buy the maps? Yes, I do. Oh my goodness, look at all of this. Okay, and this is good though. This is good. Hold on. Wait a second. We know that there's town here, town here. I mean, maybe we secure dragons in both of these areas? I mean, maybe that's the play. As much as possible, I kind of want yellow to fight. How do I want to do this? I want yellow to fight red, but I don't want red to get too big. It's too late. Red is already massive. Red is huge. But what I want to see is I want to see yellow get this and then yellow kind of move into this area. I want to stay away from yellow as much as possible because I don't want them to try and fight me. But I need castles and I need resources to upgrade castles mage guilds into 5th level mage guilds. Like here, I mean, it's an unclaimed wizard town, kind of like this one up here. It could be a library and a 5th level mage guild. Haven't seen where the other liths like this go out to. There's these kind of more triangle ones that go to this area, which would be really nice to have. Yeah. But then there's also this one. I don't know where that goes to. We're gonna have to find out. But yeah, this Magellans Maps is actually very useful because that changes the whole functionality of how you address this map, like how you move forward. Yeah, this changes a lot. And I'm here for it. Very much I'm here for it. Okay, there's still some treasure out here, over here. Let's see if maybe Hector can go get cheeky and get to the other side. Oh no, we lost half of our sprites. Looks like we're safe at the moment. Yeah, let's go grab this stuff and hope that there's no enemies that hop into boats like immediately. We'll see how likely it is that they leave us alone, but we'll see. Yeah, somebody's got Dimension Door. Our entire playthrough might end with one Dimension Door that just surprises us. It really might. And Heroes Broken Alliance, your voice is top tier. Singing adds flavor to the stream. Why, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you very kindly. As I've aged, my voice has gotten the timbre and the pitch has changed. I can't hit some of the high notes I used to really enjoy hitting, but I still enjoy hearing myself. This is going to be a little bit of a mushy moment, but I really appreciate when I get to sing to my kids. It's probably the best reason for me to have a voice ever, is getting able to calm them down. That makes me so very happy. So I appreciate, though, that it's not it's worthwhile. So thank you. Okay. And then Lyshin's on stream. Hi, Real Fix Fox. Always have a nice stream and have fun as always. Thank you so much. Appreciate you checking in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great weekend. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. Blinzior says, hey Fix, may I ask how old you are and what you're doing for a living? Just curious. Who the guy I've recently spent a couple dozen hours watching on YouTube is. Commented on some of his watching live right now. Yeah. So I'm in my early 30s. What am I? I think I'm turning 34 this year, actually, which feels odd. 30 was hard for me. I can't believe that 30 was 4 years ago, but I'm going to be turning 34 this year. And I currently work as a juvenile probation officer. Now it's interesting because this is not what my plans were. My plans were actually to be in the medical field, and my hope is that I can still return to that at some point. My goal is still to get back into the medical field. That's where my degree is. That's where my heart is. Right now, this is not exactly the most perfect fit for me, but and I'm kind of in that disposition. I like a job where I can actually be something of a helper. I don't like jobs where I'm simply there to make money, or I'm just like a cog in the wheel of some bigger like factory. I've worked a factory job in the past, and it was okay. I wasn't bad at it by any means, but I prefer to have a job that has some meaning. And so even though juvenile probation officer right now isn't my favorite job in the world, I still get the opportunity. I still feel like I'm useful. I still feel like I'm able to be impactful in people's lives. I have been an adult probation officer in the past. What else have I done? Behavioral health. I used to work, my favorite job I ever had was at a wilderness therapy program in Mesa, Arizona. I'm not going to say which wilderness therapy program that it is, but there's a couple of really good ones. But the one that I'm specifically talking about is one of my all-time favorite jobs I've ever had, because I basically got paid to go camping for a week at a time with at-risk youth, kids with issues with drugs, depression, alcohol, things like that. And the nice thing I learned is that there's no such thing as a bad kid. There's just folks that are going through a tough time. And that, I can't tell you how nice that is when I look at the clientele I work with today. You know, these are individuals that are just going through a rough time. They're just struggling. But if you can support them, if you can help people out, they can get where they need to be and get to what they want. Oh no, that's not good. So yeah, I've always been kind of in a helping profession in some way, shape, or form. What in the medical field? We'll see. No ideas just yet what we're going to end up doing, but we'll figure something out. Geez, another good hero. Do I need another hero? I don't think I need another hero right now. You know, I've got boats everywhere. Let's hire one more hero. Can't hurt that bad. And then I'll send them out, and so maybe they end up casting chain lightning on somebody and just ruining their day. Okay. But yeah, and I'm always interested in what other people are doing for work here. Recently, we found out that there's a lot of doctors, which was a big surprise to me. A lot of doctors watch the stream too. There's an awful lot of just wonderful people all around. Christina, she's in the medical field. Pixo, Arbiter Dan. Yeah, just nice people. I think that Heroes of Might and Magic tends to bring a certain quality of individual. And it makes me happy to get to spend time with all of you here doing that. Well, I can't. Tell you what, I can always town portal back if I need to. Agar's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to worry about him. Let's do this. I want to leave just a little bit of room. I've got to get at least one stack of dwarves. One dwarf cottage, and then I think all these dwarves are going to want to join me. I truly believe that. Is this worth it to try? Let's do... Well, no, we don't want the dwarves there. Is this worth it? I mean, it's worth it, surely. Let's fight this fight. Let's see how this goes. And then that'll determine whether or not we do the swarm of battle dwarves later. Because the throng we should be able to manage. Nope, we can't even do this. Can't even do this. Just the sheer amount of hit points. How do we only have 49 spell points left? For some reason I thought I was going to play with a full 130. Did I sleep okay last night? I think I need like a Fitbit so that way I can see how well I slept last night, because there is something definitely off about the way FixFox is managing his business today. And this is bad because this costs us the 3 Phoenixes. The unicorns and the druids at this point are pretty inconsequential, but it costs us all these other troops. Darn. Tell you what, let's hope that they clump up and let's do a couple meteor showers and let's see what happens. No shame in hoping that something nice happens. Okay. Now they could all resist this spell or they could all eat the damage. 2 of them took the damage, not too bad. I'm about to lose this fight anyway. You might as well get your double hex attack off while you can, I think. We kill 16 creatures, okay. And then the 6-speed Crusaders, they're always going to be faster anyway. So I'm just going to send them to the bottom. Unicorns, I'm going to try and split them away as well. You were good Phoenixes. Maybe even the best. You were maybe even the best Phoenixes ever. I mean, we got the resurrection. I'm surprised how well the Phoenixes did there. I mean, the dwarves are not doing that much damage. Am I throwing in the towel? Am I losing my head? Do I still have an opportunity to win this fight? I don't see how it's possible. I really don't. 2 resurrects. 7 spell power. I think that we could still, I don't know, let's do our best. Let's just make sure we don't lose the scenario. Or let's not lose our main hero. How about that? Yeah, let's just not lose our main hero. We're going to kill this stack here as much as we can because I want to try and prevent excess damage where not necessary. Retaliations are already where we need them to be. This stack is down to 20 of the battle dwarves. There's 29 just a minute ago. I don't know. We might be able to... I mean, we got one more resurrect. True. The Crusaders are doing oodles of damage. I think I want to wait on the Resurrect True for one more turn. Double damage. Small stack. Big stack is already retaliated. Oh no, I messed up. I messed up. You can't, if these Crusaders don't survive this round of combat, we're sunk because you can't resurrect a unit when there's 2 dead stacks of units on top of the units. That was a critical error. If you're going to try and keep the Phoenixes alive, you got to do things a little bit differently there. Okay, thankfully the Crusaders are going to survive. Whoa, that was close. That was close. But I mean, these troops, I mean, they're mixing it up. They're doing some damage. They're doing okay. Let's work on this big stack here. Let's kill the rest of these. Battle dwarves there. We're gonna wait for the Phoenixes. I mean, this blind's only gonna last a little bit longer. And if I resurrect True now, I can attack here, get the double hex attack off there. The blind's still gonna be in play. I think we're gonna survive. This is just not my favorite way of doing these sorts of deals. If I attack this big stack here, they're going to do half damage on the retaliation. So let's actually break the blind now. Let's try and kill this one single guy here. This retaliation's already been eaten up. I don't know. I feel embarrassed that I lost my head and was like, oh no, the scenario's over. Like, we're going to lose the fight. Because being able to know your strength and know when to fight and when not to fight, like, these are important skills. And being able to judge a fight from the outset, I mean, that's a pretty important thing in knowing how to make these fights happen. And so it feels It feels like just another thing I'm needing to learn here, because it wasn't the attack and the defense. I guess I was just underestimating the value of these dwarves. That's kind of big. Expert diplomacy. That's kind of big. Now, that was 3 stacks of 67, so that was, what, 180 dwarves there. This is at least 250 battle dwarves there, probably more. I don't want to let them wait another week, but I need another week's worth of troops just to stay alive. I think that with 4 spell points left, is there a magic well? Is there a magic well? There's not. We just simply must rush. Rush home and hope for the best. What a weird scenario. Weird scenario. I'm going to actually land with Kalindra. I did put her in the boat, but she's got that chain lightning, remember? It's going to do 160 points worth of damage. If you can drop that on an enemy once or twice, you're in a good spot. Okay. Blenzior says, poor Knight faction, always unlucky. Yeah, they're kind of unlucky. Just getting destroyed by me and everybody else. Everybody wants a piece of them. Yellow ignores our castle, so this is the first time that Yellow's been able to explore here. That's okay for me. That's okay. We don't really have the spell points to deal with this guy, though. But maybe this means I can run. Again, I'm looking for a magic well. Not finding it, but I'm looking for a magic well. I mean, I could hop into the boat and then sail past. Tell you what, let's do that. Let's hop into the boat, sail past, and I'm going to hope that both heroes survive, but I'm going to move Rebecca to here. Maybe Agar's going to go to here, see us there, try to attack, and we can go around the other way. I don't know how likely that is, but we'll see. Vesper's just hanging out. We're just being friends. Friendly people. Castor, that's their primary hero. We were 1 step away from this observation tower. Wouldn't that have been nice? That would have been excellent, but we missed that opportunity. Kalindra, I think that she wants to seal this boat now. There's an obelisk here. I saw one hole dug right there. If the enemy's already found the ultimate artifact, I'm going to be really sad. But we've not found a single obelisk yet. I just haven't seen a lot, so maybe there's not many to be had. And if there's not many to be had, maybe that's going to really tell us where we need to start looking, where we need to start digging. Let's see about that. Bearded Man, you could always get ghosts. Bearded Man, are you here to tell me that there's a barrel mound somewhere here on this map? Is there a barrel mound somewhere out here that I need to get? If there's a barrel mound, everything changes. Everything changes. We'll see about it. New month, month of the rock. And this is all covered up. I can't get through there, but I can go to here and then maybe I'll show up first thing in the morning. Probably not. I don't know if Agar's going to want to fight me or if he's going to want to just continue to chase Rebecca. I'm going to hope he chases Rebecca. I'm just going to go to right here. Save me some trouble. Let's land. Let's pick up this obelisk. Troyan is still scouting. No other heroes at the moment. What does Agar do? That's the question. Yeah, that's fine. I think that Rebecca needs to check to see if she's got good deodorant or not. That looked oddly, suspiciously like Agar sniffed her and then decided he didn't want any part of her. That's what that looked like. And if that's the case, girl, you need to double check your body odor situation. I can't imagine that that's what it was, but I mean, what else am I to believe? That's just what it looked like. It just looked weird. Lyshan said that the dwarves looked menacing, though. Yeah, they absolutely did. And I was happy to come through that fight. Okay. Blenzior, I feel I can feel you. 32 this year. Yep, 32. Yeah, people keep telling me that my body's going to start breaking down. I still think I've got one good push left in me. I think that's going to take probably 2 years for me to get into good shape. And then I'm hoping I can get into okay shape and I can just stay at like a comfortable, healthy weight. I'm definitely not at a place I want to be now, but before my body really starts to break down, I do want to take advantage of still having a pretty good metabolism. I want to take advantage of being able to feel still okay about myself and where everything's at. Oh my gosh. Yeah, things I still hope for. So we'll see how it goes. If you study some psychology, you'll hear that in many cases, kids doing drugs are just shouting for help. They're not bad people. Absolutely. All the work that I've done with people that work through addiction, there's two reasons why you do drugs, right? And we probably shouldn't be talking about this on Twitch. I don't know if it goes against the terms and conditions of Twitch or not, but if we're talking about this in a healthy, therapeutic way, then it's worth talking about how we recover from substance abuse. And the two reasons that people use is generally either A, because they want to get their highs higher, like they want to enjoy the party even more, or what they want to do is they want to not feel a certain way, like because they feel this or that, they're just trying to be okay. They're trying to cover up that bad negative feeling. And can I really fault somebody for being depressed and sad and not happy with their life situation and just wanting to be okay? It's really hard for me to feel bad about somebody for that. That doesn't mean necessarily that they're not responsible for the consequences of their own actions. I think that we all agree that, you know, you've got to be responsible for yourself, and you've got to, you know, you got to manage to take care of yourself. And if you do horrible things under the influence, or if you do horrible things to get drugs, that's a problem, clearly. But that doesn't mean I hate you because you're just trying to be okay. One of the most interesting things I ever saw, it was a judge. He was in court, and there was an individual who was on for trafficking. It was either meth or heroin. It was one of them. And the judge was sitting there across from her, and he was saying, all right, there's a lot of times in my judicial career where I want to be nice to people and I want to support them. There's times where I absolutely rail against the mandatory minimums that we have here in the United States, because he understands what I'm discussing here with you now, the idea that people are just trying to be okay. But he looked her in the eye and he said, this is not one of those times. And that poor gal, like her mom, started crying in the corner. It was a horrible thing all around. Hated it. But what he was trying to say as a judge is he was like, look, you were not selling to support yourself in your drug habit. You were doing this because you wanted to make money. Well, if you want to get other people hooked on stuff so that way they can pay you money, okay, I guess I know what I'm going to do with you. Then I think that she had a couple years. I think it was like 3 years fixed, 2 years indeterminate, and I think he put her on a rider or he sent her away. So, tell you what, I've got a little bit of a tender heart. I really do have a tender heart. I don't like to see people struggle, and I want to support people and help them through the struggle. I've seen some things that, like, you might look at them and say, Fix Fox, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not like, I don't want to use the word PTSD here, but I mean, I've seen some stuff that I'm just like, man, that affects me on a day-to-day basis. And thankfully, I've never been in a situation where I've been incredibly in danger. Thankfully, I mean, I've never had to Narcan somebody back to life. But man, it just hurts your heart. I just don't want to see people be in a bad spot. But I get it. I understand wanting to be okay. Anyway, sorry folks, this took a weird turn. This conversation took a weird turn, and I apologize for it. It wasn't my plan today to just talk about this sort of a deal, but we just kind of moseyed into that sort of scenario. My apologies. We're going to chain lightning as many times as we can. Mandigal the Wizard, 6 attack, 8 defense, 10 spell power, 14 knowledge, good morale, Irish luck, 74 spell points. Oh my goodness. Does this mean that your main hero is no longer Jezebel? Like, did you find so many spell points that this was just the better option? I feel like that might be the case. Might be the case. Okay, let me get caught up on chat. Save before the dwarves, Vexen? Yeah, save before the dwarves. Teenagers, maybe? Kids isn't the best word? Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there, but yeah, just people working on themselves. Whether it's kids, I mean, kids grow up into being adults. That's how it works, right? Kids become adults. And that's never hurt my feelings to just recognize that, hey, we've all got... I used to be a kid once. Hopefully there's still a little bit in my heart for that. Beardman says, out of all the exploits, this is the one FixedFox avoids the most. Let's see, the save. Oh yeah, trying to save before, that is the one I try to avoid the most. Where are my spell points? Did I not stay a full night in the castle? I must not have. Oh my goodness. My word. FixedFox. Unacceptable. I am distraught. How could I do this to myself? Because I keep fighting these fights as if I have strength. Because with Endless Resurrects, sure, you're strong, but without him, I am nothing. And I think it's going to cost me this time. I think I'm going to have to surrender. Yeah, look at this coming up. This is going to be way too much to handle. That was pretty nice. Double damage to the skeletons. We killed 52. We killed the whole stack. Bad luck on the griffins. I'm going to have 7 spell points left. Tell you what, steel skin the phoenixes, keep them alive as long as they can be kept alive. We're going to kill 3 to 5 of these griffins here. We're gonna live until you cast your first spell. Gotta kill the power liches. Paralyze, don't hate it. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. 3 to 5 griffins twice. We kill 4 and then, so 9 total. Unicorns are down. We're gonna kill 2 to 3 here. Kill 3. If I had a haste, the Crusaders could solve these power liches without any issues. But yeah, let's not do this anymore where we forget spell points. My goodness. That cost us a lot. That cost us a phoenix and cost us a couple of those other creatures. We'll take the luck here and let's go back. Oh my goodness. I'm still having fun. Just in case you haven't noticed, like, I'm still having fun. I think that it would have been reasonable for me to have abandoned this scenario maybe a couple weeks ago. Like, that still would have been okay. But I wanted to soldier on. I wanted to continue. Wilfrey knows I have no spell points. Run! We're going to get there in 3 days. It's going to be kind of close, too. If I got rid of the one Crusader, I can make it all the way back in. I think I actually need to. I don't want to let go of the Crusader, but it's still going to take me that long? No, I should have enough movement points. But I'm having fun, even though this is a struggle. And so it's the struggle builds character. The struggle builds character. FixedFox wife, you did sleep last night, though I'm not sure how well. Did you crack open your Dr. Pepper? Thank you, Fixed Wife. I did crack open the Dr. Pepper a while ago. It's delicious. Thank you. You would think that the caffeine would help arouse my faculties and make me a better player. No, 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 no. At this point, caffeinated is just my default level. I'm always caffeinated, and so it doesn't really give me a boost. It just makes me normal. I think I have to do a big reset on caffeine, actually, so that way I can actually get some benefit out of it. We'll see. Okay. Let's try this again. We're going to stay here overnight. We're going to leave here first thing in the morning with full troops. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, this hero has been hired over there in the other area. I do want the blind. If everybody else can blind me, why can't I blind them? Orange, orange, okay. Do I have Bless? I do have Bless. So the Bless is super good for the Phoenixes and actually for the Crusaders as well. It's pretty good there too. Phoenixes can now say, don't tread on me. Yeah. Yeah, these Phoenixes are tough. These Phoenixes are battle-tested. Absolutely battle-tested. Bearded Man saying that the 4,000 XP is huge. I actually agree. I didn't even realize how much XP it was for the Agar fight. But yeah, 5 and 4. I mean, we're getting somewhere. The longer the scenario goes, the more I value my chance at winning. In general, that's just the way I've had to approach any of these scenarios. The longer the game goes, the better I like my chances at winning. I don't know if that's how true that is, but I feel strongly about that still, even to this day. Let's see, champions there. Something like that. Something like that, yeah, because then the Phoenixes are at the very bottom, so then you can keep your other troops together. That's the thought process behind that. Rocks, I don't know. I don't care. It's now Zounds of Battle Dwarves. In one more week, 14% on top of Zounds. Hold on, I forget. Zounds, Heroes of Might and Magic. Zounds is 500 to 999. This is 500 Battle Dwarves. That's 5 stacks of 100. That's a lot. That's a lot. But 140 spell points, that's a lot too. Here we go. Dwarves are not that hard, but they can be complicated. I mean, yeah, it's so 500 dwarves, 20 HP on each, plus the fact that they can reduce or rather resist spells occasionally. That's kind of a rough deal. So we're gonna fight the fight anyway. I think with enough spell points, we can win this fight. And Bearded Man does not know if there's a barrel mound on here or not. That's okay. That's all right. I don't know either. But we don't need to know. We just need to know that through the power of friendship, we will overwhelm our enemies. Heroes Broken Alliance says, don't apologize. It's your stream. You can talk about whatever you want. I appreciate that. I don't want to put anybody in a place where they don't feel comfortable talking about something, especially if it's in their past. I don't want to bring up like unpleasant memories or things like that. Recovery is a tough thing for a lot of folks. I just want people to be okay, but I also don't want to put people in a tough spot. So, Dwarf Village. And then Broken Alliance says, I like when people are real, like you, talking about life and all. Thank you. I really appreciate that. One of my favorite things is somebody once said, you know, life is hard. And then somebody else said, yeah, but compared to what? And I really appreciated that perspective where it's like, yeah, if we're talking about life, I mean, we're going to be talking about hard things because life is full of hard things and that's okay. Alrighty, this fight, I'm going to fight this fight. We want to use Meteor Shower as much as possible. Because Chain Lightning, if the first creature resists the spell, then you get none of the damage. If you Meteor Shower, people have to individually basically roll to stay alive. It's just not that much damage. With 7 Phoenixes who fly, though, if you keep the Phoenixes alive, you can exhaust all your spell points. Every single spell point, you can exhaust it. And so I think I'm going to give this a shot. If I lose all the other troops, so be it. Oh, and they're doing 4 stacks instead of 5. I think I like that better. I think that's okay for me. Let's go into a defensive position here. Let's skip here. Let's go to here. And all the spell points are... You're going for the Phoenixes? You're silly. All the Phoenixes... that's nice. We're killing... 7 dwarves. Hey, how do you kill dwarves? The answer is 7 at a time. It's kind of weird that we have to go this long route where the dwarves are going to go for the Phoenixes instead of these other creatures. I'm okay with it. It's just not what I expected. Remember, if we can get through these dwarves, we just have to kill them once. And once we do, we're going to be in a really pretty okay position because then we should have access to tons of these dwarf cottages. And at this point, months into the game, it should be hundreds, and I'm talking hundreds of dwarves that we should be able to pick up from these cottages. That's my hope. That's my goal. Those are my dreams. Please be kind, because if you dash my dreams, I don't know what I would do with myself. Dwarves do not have good morale, by the way. Did you notice? Did you notice? I don't know if these dwarves are going to want to go this way. Okay, there we go. There's the split. And the split is actually bad for me. Yeah, I don't get a nice double hex attack off there. Let's see. What's the best thing to do? At this point, Meteor Shower is not my favorite. Wait, how much damage did those dwarves do? Battle Dwarves did 194 damage. You only did 194 damage, 16 defense, 6 attack. 14 defense. I mean, you're going to get obliterated. So I think I do want to try and keep the Rangers alive as much as possible. But I don't think that the value of my Phoenix is going to outweigh the damage from like a meteor shower, is it? It couldn't. Couldn't. 140, 175. When they're split up like this, I think that you're better off using the Cold Ray. I think. Let's try and kill one stack where we can. Damage goes off. It's only 7 dwarves at a time. We don't want to lose the champions and then open ourselves up to rangers getting attacked. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crusaders are gonna go down if you do nothing. Phoenixes, even if I attack one of these creatures, Phoenixes don't have like a good avenue to attack. I mean, I could attack here and then the Phoenixes could double hex attack there, but then you're just abandoning the rangers. They're still doing some damage. Yeah, but these aren't the troops. Like, we're probably gonna sacrifice all these troops and then run with with one Phoenix left or 2 Phoenixes left. We can't surrender, so we're gonna lose the Phoenixes. There's no good way of doing this. What I'm really getting at here is that there's no good way of doing this. But I wish that there was. Let's do a split here. Yeah. Okay, so the dwarves, when they attacked here against the Crusaders, they just did minimum damage. That's all it was. They just did minimum damage. Wait a second. Hold on. Am I about to die? Wait, 3 stacks. 1, 2, 3. Am I about to just lose? Hold on. 3 stacks of dwarves. 1 kills here, 1 kills here, 1 kills here. Am I about to just lose this? 1, 2, 3. It's funny because as I was asking the question in my mind, the Rangers got good morale. Rangers, they got good morale that would have allowed me to avoid disaster. And then I didn't even avoid disaster. Well, it's worth noting, as we've said many a time before, that I get worse the longer I play. And we're about 4 hours into the stream. I don't know how people stream for 8, 9, 12, 16 hours. I don't know how people do it. I don't have the capacity. But I think that was just a failure on many levels. And I could potentially load up, right? I could load and I could go to the autosave. I could. But folks, I think that if I'm really messing around with this little dwarf village to try and get this artifact, to try and go through these dwarves, I think that the writing is kind of on the wall. I don't think that I've got what it takes to defeat Castor. I don't think I have what it takes to defeat Mandigal. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to recover from this area. Astra is a sorceress. She's not going to be able to win this game for me. I think that at this point, I have outlasted as many enemies as I possibly could have. I have outlasted necromancers, barbarians, and I even took out the knights, right? I don't think I can defeat yellow, and I don't think I can defeat red. And so, knowing that we were going to lose this fight pretty much anyway, I think it's going to be time to call this scenario and call it a day. Wild. Never, ever, ever do I start a stream and plan on losing a scenario, but definitely that happened here today. Absolutely, it happened here today. Vexen says, I think that yellow is targeting you. Yeah, I think so. And Wilfrey, I think that they're coming for me pretty soon. Blinzior says, imagine hiring at least one dragon and having, let's see, Armageddon, and this hero is going to get only more magic skill. Yeah, I mean, more magic. I mean, yeah, if I could get Armageddon. But the problem is that there's going to be these dragons here. You could again and again go against Mandigal and try to Armageddon these creatures down. I mean, you could. The thing is I think it would take forever. I think it would actually take forever. From this spot, is this winnable? Potentially. Like, it's still potentially winnable. Oof. No. I just don't see a clear path forward. No, there's just no good path forward. So eventually, it just is going to take one mistake anyway, and we just saw our one mistake here. This was a mistake that I made, and so I need to live with my mistakes. I'm going to call this a scenario, but yeah, there was opportunities, maybe even still. From this position, maybe there's still opportunities, but you have like a 3 to 5% chance of winning this scenario. I don't like my luck. I don't like my chances. I really don't. Bearded Man says, best of luck. The 3 rainbows, in your case, yes. The 3 rainbows have been nice. They've done a lot for us, but they have been insufficient to help Fix Fox avoid getting out of his own way. Lyshan says, just killed the dwarves that are accompanying Stow White. They were 7 as well. That's dark, man. Weren't those Smurfs? Heroes Broken Alliance says, the blue guys? Maybe. I thought they were dwarves. Blunzior says, I don't think that I would go into this battle, and it's nice. It's still nice roll. Zounds is 500 plus. Yeah. It's still 500 plus, and we saw that that was just way too much. Hilarious fight. It's safe to say that there's no recovering from this. They do stream like this when it's their job. This Blenzior, oh yeah, I guess if it's their job. Yeah, I don't know though. Like if you're gonna stream for 16 hours a day, I guess I don't understand the economics of streaming. Like I stream because it's fun and I get the chance to talk to wonderful people. I don't understand how people make money on Twitch. I don't understand that, but hey, as a hobby, I have tons of fun. So power to those people that can make it happen. And all right, here we are for me. Bearded Man says, gonna be some time until I can change my channel name. Bearded Man, I would have felt bad actually if I had, if you had felt obligated to do so. So I release you from that thing that you once said, and I appreciate very much your kindness and your friendship. Thank you so much. Feel free, please keep your channel the same way it always is. Even when we eventually come back and beat this map, please keep it the same way. Lyshan says 8 hours is nothing when playing a game that requires muscle memory or prior knowledge or strict game planning on. Playing turn-based strategy is not efficient for long hours. That's true. I could play what? I mean, what games would lend themselves to being played mindlessly forever? Like those muscle memory games? You say muscle memory and I think, I don't even know what muscle memory games they would be. Maybe CSGO? Maybe there's muscle memory involved in that. I don't know. Maybe. Blunzior says, if you're done for now, it's tempting for me to play Great War myself, as I did with Navy several days ago. Yeah, no, please go. I am going to call it a day, folks. 4 hours is plenty for me. I'm going to tap out now, because if we do just go to new game and we restart for Great War and we keep ourselves in the orange position as the sorceresses, I can do that and we can restart, but 4 hours in, I'm going to get really tired in about 2 hours. And it's very clear on this XL map, it's going to take at least 5 to 10 hours to complete, I would say. So yeah, go ahead, folks. This is the Great War. You can find it in, you can Google The Great War, Heroes Might Magic 2, Celestial Heavens download spot. Go there, play this map from this position for me, and let me know what you find. Remember, we are playing on expert difficulty, or impossible difficulty, so you're not going to have any extra resources. But if you can get some early phoenixes, I think that you can do an awful lot more with this map than I did. I think that I missed several opportunities. We took some early fights that we shouldn't have. I mean, we had to rehire our hero like 5 or 6 or 7 times this scenario. Clearly not ideal. But how about you go and play this map? Go do better, and then let me know what your experience was like. I'm always interested to hear what things worked better for you. We've already seen some goodies on this map. I'm not going to recap them just in case you don't want to have it spoiled, but I think that there's lots of interesting things that you can do now knowing what we've seen on this playthrough. So, folks, with that being said, I'm grateful for the opportunity to have you here. This has been a fun stream. I've had tons of fun here with you here today, and I'm also looking forward to going back and seeing my family, my dear sweet wife, and my wonderful little kiddos. Hopefully, whatever you've got going on, it's a wonderful night, a wonderful day, and a fantastic weekend. Until I see you next time, please do me and you a favor. Look after you, look after your friends, look after your family. The pleasure is always mine. Until I see you again, take good care. And we're out. Peace out, everybody. Thank you so much.